Do 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 do. Suck that tiger dick, bitch. Do 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 boop beep do do. Yeah. A-Town down. Shitter's full. Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Thanks for watching. Clemson vs. Duke coming up tonight. C minus. Let's go. C minus. Let's go. How's everybody doing? Happy, hey, lady. What holiday is it? Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Clemson versus Duke coming up. Broadcast starts at 8. I guess kickoff will be a few minutes after that. We'll hang out and watch the game tonight. The last game of week 1 of the 2023 college football season. Capping off 5 straight nights of college football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been a great week 1. Congratulations to everybody's team that won. I can't wait till, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday? Call-in show tomorrow. Brag or cry, week 1. Man, Florida fans, call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. Let Uncle Lou be your therapist. Corn Dog Man, LSU man, call me tomorrow. Let Uncle Lou be your therapist. South Carolina man. Who else humiliated themselves? Call-in show tomorrow night at 9 should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Call-in shows every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. during the season. Unless there's a big game on Thursday that we live stream. But other than that, yep, call-in shows Tuesday and Thursday at 9. Hey, have y'all seen the schedule for next week yet? Real quick. I know this week isn't over yet, but let's just look real quick. So, Thursday is nothing. Murray State and Louisville. Louisville's so bad they barely beat Georgia Tech, so they're not worth watching. But look at this Friday game, Illinois at Kansas. Now, I know there's not a lot of Illinois and Kansas fans running around the internet, but this is going to be a good game. These are two, perennially bottom-dwelling type teams that both had pretty good years last year, relative to what they normally do. Illinois was ranked, up to 15 or 16 at one point. Anyway, I think that's an interesting game on Friday. I think I'm going to live stream that game Friday night. I think I'm gonna live stream. So that'll be the next game stream that I do here on this channel. The Illinois and Kansas game Friday night. So for those of you that are like me and have absolutely no life at all outside of college football, and you don't have anything better to do on a Friday night but sit home and watch college football, come on over to the channel. We'll hang out this coming Friday and watch Illinois and Kansas and try to figure out what's what with that and that. Too, and also the Patreon poll is up on the Patreon page for next Saturday's stream. So those of you who are members of the Patreon page, make sure you head over there, cast your vote. What time do you want me to stream next Saturday? Noon. These are Eastern times now. So the early games at noon, the afternoon games at 3:30, or the primetime games at night. Make sure you head over to Patreon. It's the first post on the page when you get over there. Cast your vote. Let me know. Uncle Lou's TV repair. Florida man, LSU man, South Carolina man, whoever. You need me to come over and work on your TV for you. You have to provide the TV. I'll provide the hammer. No big deal. What TVs do you have? What do you mean? Like the brand of TVs in here? Vizios. I want new TVs, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Like every time I've gone anywhere in the last 2 months that sells TVs, I've not bought any. I want all new TVs for in here, but I was proud of myself. I didn't go spend the money. How's everybody doing? Inches? This is either a 55 or a 60 in the middle, and I think it's 32s on the outside. You know, I've got 3 TVs lined up right next to each other on the wall. Some of y'all have seen the setup before in here. Clay McHone says, are we Dookie fans tonight? Well, I'm never a fan of anybody outside of Georgia, and I never really root for a team to win or lose unless I have money on the game. And I tried to bet tonight's game, but Pigskin Pete just wouldn't do it. I don't know if he was scared or what was going on there, but as far as my pick for the game, I did take Duke and the points. Ryan Day says his QB struggled because it was too hot. Did he really? Well, don't feel bad, Ohio State fans. South Carolina's head coach Shane Beamer said the reason they lost is because the chain crew was late getting back out to the field after halftime because they were in the locker room eating hot dogs. So, a lot of excuse making going on. Brian Kelly didn't make any excuses. Brian Kelly came out and said, I don't know what's going on. We showed up like we thought we were Georgia or something, and we clearly ain't. Yeah, duh. Yeah, clearly not Georgia. Yeah, thank you, Captain Obvious. Yeah, clearly not Georgia. Yeah, we know. Anthony Rodney, thank you for the super chat. He says, hey, Uncle Lou, here's to a productive live stream for you tonight. Can we take a moment of silence to appreciate UJ's next walk-on legend, Mekhi Muse? Yeah, now, I think as the season goes along, you're going to see him play less and less wide receiver, and he'll be mostly a kick returner. You know, you got Dominic Lovett. Lad McConkey didn't play last week. He's probably our best receiver. Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint didn't play. He's probably wide receiver too. So I think Mekhi Muse probably played more wide receiver this past weekend, Saturday, than he will in any game the rest of the year. But yeah, he had a good game, and I love him as a kick returner. Miles Brown, thank you for the super chat. He says Billy Napier couldn't coach my men's league softball team. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but Billy Napier doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, yeah, better coach Brian Kelly or Ryan Day. Man. You know, that's a tough one. Ryan Day at least has a playoff win. Brian Kelly doesn't. Brian Kelly's been doing it a lot longer, though. I don't know. They're pretty even. That's actually a good question. If you were like to rank the coaches, now I think they're both top 10 coaches. They're both top 10 coaches, but which one would you put higher? Man, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. All right, Clemson and Duke. Cade Klubnik takes over the quarterback duties at Clemson. The ukulele was benched at the end of last season, transferred out to Oregon State. Cade Klubnik did play a lot last year. In fact, played in almost every game. Started the bowl game. And Duke returns a ton of talent from last year's team on both sides of the ball, including quarterback Riley Leonard, who had a really good year last year. Clemson's defense expected to be the strength of their team again this season. Will Shipley, one of the best running backs in the ACC. I'm sure Clemson will try to get him going early. And can Clemson establish a primary wide receiver? Do they have one? Does Clemson have a wide receiver that can threaten anybody? Because last year they didn't, and the year before that they didn't either. They clearly don't have the talent at wide receiver that they've had in years past with players like Sammy Watkins and Hunter Renfrow and things like that. But can they find somebody at the wide receiver position? Can Clemson's offensive line hold up, which has been an issue, particularly last year? And what about Clemson's secondary? As good as Clemson's defense is, and it's loaded with NFL talent, Clemson was not good last season against the pass. I think they were 96th in the country against the pass. Gave up 6 or 7 touchdown passes in one game to Wake Forest. Not good. Never mind great. Not even good pass defense last year for Clemson. So can they improve on the back end of the defense, and can that front seven perform at the level it's been performing at the last few years and slow down the Duke offense? We'll see. One of the biggest home games probably in Duke history tonight, it being on a holiday, everybody watching. Duke had, 8-9 wins last year in Mike Elko's first year. You got, big bad Clemson coming into town. It's a huge atmosphere. As big as the atmosphere can get for a home Duke football game. That's what we'll see tonight for Duke. Nas, thank you for the super chat. I've been screaming Sunbelt Billy all weekend. # Go Vols. Yeah, he might need to take his ass back to the Sunbelt. Billy Napier. I don't think it'll be this year, though. I think he'll make it through this year. I think he'll be the coach next. I do think next year will be Billy Napier's last year, though. I think next year will be Billy Napier's last year. Miles Brown says, I knew that you were high on Texas Tech this year. How disappointed are you that they started the way they did? And are you still confident in them? No, they lost to a group of 5 team. They can hang it up. And guess who they play this week? Oregon. I mean, they're liable to lose by 50. Based on what I saw from Oregon last week and Texas Tech last week. Oregon's liable to go down there and just absolutely murder them. James Holly, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you, Lou. Everyone needs to hit the like button, dummies. Yeah, that's right. 657 people in here. We haven't even got to kickoff yet. 300 likes before kickoff. Or hell, I might just end the stream. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to watch the game anyway. I might as well leave the camera turned on. But can we get to 300 likes before kickoff? 300 is not a lot to ask. That's less than half of the people that are watching right now literally just doing this. It's the easiest thing you can do. You boop, like that. Boop. Do it. See? Even she can do it. That's how easy it is. Boop. 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 I hope we get a good game because I'm not going to lie. Last night, it got ugly in the second half of that one last night. It was close in the first half, but man, it got ugly in the second half. We'll see what happens in this one. Both teams have taken the field, ready for kickoff. Wallace Wade Stadium. The Clemson Taters take on the Duke Blue Devils. First game of the season, of course, for each team. Clemson, 9-3 last year, 10-3, 10-3, 11-3, whatever they were. I guess they were 10-2 in the regular season. Won the ACC 11. Okay, 11-3. 11-3 last year, I guess, for Clemson. Duke, I believe, was 9-4. 9-4. We'll see. Duke not ranked in most preseason polls or rankings. Clemson, of course, is ranked anywhere from 5 to 15, really, depending on where you look. There's a wide variety of opinion when it comes to Clemson in the offseason. I think a lot of it has to do with the uncertainty at offensive coordinator, new OC, new quarterback. Duke kicked off into the end zone, out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Hey, we got the 300 likes before kickoff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Y'all understood the assignment.
Y'all understood the assignment. Thank you for that. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Mel Bruce says hit the likes. Yeah. All right, so the Taters will get the ball first here following the opening kickoff, which was a touchback. 1st and 10 on their own 25. Cade Klubnik leading Clemson out onto the field. Garrett Riley, the new offensive coordinator. I do think that was a really good hire for Clemson. He was a good offensive coordinator at TCU, no doubt about it. Maybe the best assistant off-season hire. Will Shipley on the ground on 1st down, picks up 3, maybe 4 yards off left tackle. It's going to be 2nd and 6 coming up for Clemson on their own 29. Lou, can you play that war chant music? Jimmy Buffett, you will be missed. I can't play the war chant music during this stream because it's copyrighted so no, I can't play it during this one. 2nd and 6 for the Clemson Taters. Shotgun, 3 wide. Another handoff to Shipley. Has a nice hole this time. Picks up 7 yards across the 35. 1st down, Clemson on their own 36. So 2 plays, 2 Will Shipley runs, and Clemson picks up a 1st down. 14-12 to go into first quarter. Game just underway here. Clemson with their first possession. Another handoff. Might have lost a yard that time off right tackle. Good defense by Duke there. It's going to be 2nd and 11, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. Will Brock, thank you for the super chat. South Carolina's O-line is horrid. Yes, that's an understatement. Hard to watch them get absolutely destroyed by North Carolina, but we are going 10-2. Woo. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, no. South Carolina's offensive line looked really, really bad. Spencer Rattler was sacked 9 times in that game. Wow. Klubnik back to throw, sits in the pocket, dumps it out to Will Shipley, but nowhere to go. He's hit and tackled right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 3rd and 10 now coming up for Clemson. A play-action pass. After 3 or 4 straight runs to Will Shipley, Clemson tries to play-action pass. Nowhere to go with the ball, so Klubnik had to dump it off in the flat to Will Shipley. But Duke was ready. They hit him right away. Stop. No gain. 3rd and 10 for the Taters. They've got 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. 1 up top. Will Shipley standing in the backfield. Cade Klubnik in a shotgun right next to him. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. Intercepted! Cade Klubnik does it again! Holy fucking shit! What a deadbeat this guy is! Yeah, fucking A, man! My God!
Already?
What a horrible... He threw in a triple cut. What are you doing?
He threw it right at him.
What are you doing? No, it's incomplete. The ball hit the ground. Not intercepted, but holy shit, Cade Klubnik. The fuck? Y'all know Cade Klubnik's got more interceptions than touchdowns, right? Last year. Holy shit. Duke returns the kick, looking to find some room to the 30, 35, out of bounds at the 36. A nice return for Duke. My God, Cade Klubnik, what are you doing, son? He threw it right to the Duke man.
He did throw it right to him.
He threw it right to the Duke guy. What are you doing? Thank God it's fucking Duke, and the guy can't catch. It hit the Duke guy in the belly button. Oh, my God. Cade Klubnik, what in the fuck, man? Cade Klubnik's got issues. He's got more interceptions than touchdowns. Now we see why. All right, here comes our first look at the Duke offense. 12:45 to go in the first quarter. Riley Leonard leads the Blue Devils out on the field for their first possession. 4 wide, 3 to the bottom, 1 up top. Leonard in a shotgun with a running back standing next to him. One of the receivers goes in motion across the formation. And Duke's going to get called for a false start here. Right tackle moved early. Back them up 5. 1st and 15, Duke. Unusual to see the home team caught with with a false start like that early in the game. That's usually something that happens to opposing teams. Hard to gain yards on Clemson's defense as it is. Not a good idea to try to do it from 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. I'll get caught up on these super chats in just a second, guys. I promise. All right, here we go. 1st and 15 now on their own 34. Shotgun for Riley Leonard. Snap. Back to throw. Going deep down the sideline. Overthrew the receiver. Good coverage along the sideline. 2nd and 15 coming up for Duke. Cowpoke Ranch, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. Man, Oklahoma State sure looked good. Surprised me, I'm not going to lie. I was worried about them this year. They lost a lot of players off of that team through the transfer portal, and the way they ended last season wasn't good, but they looked better than I thought they would this week. Voltard Rep, thank you for the super chat. Let's hope Dabo didn't flip burgers before the game. 2nd and 15 now for Duke. Riley Leonard shotgun back to throw again. Throw short, complete, has room too. Going to pick up a first down across midfield to the Clemson 49. Short throw, 4 or 5 yard throw, but defense had a hard time tracking him down. Ends up picking up about 20 yards on the play. 1st and 10, and Duke's going fast. Empty backfield, 4 wide to the bottom, 1 up top, so 5 wide. Riley Leonard back to throw again. Steps up, takes off running. What's that? Oh, he gave him one of these, and the Clemson man left his purse 5 yards back. Oh, my God. The Clemson, he put a juke on it. The Clemson man dropped his purse, couldn't make the tackle. Nice run by Riley Leonard. 2nd and 3, lined up, going quick. Back to throw. Looking, gets rid of it. Caught, has room, 30, 25 to the 24-yard line. He fumbled, but I believe he was down. Let's see. Maybe not. I think Clemson recovered it. Yeah, well, they're going to say it is a fumble. Wow. What a terrible break for Duke. Unbelievable. Great-looking drive for Duke. Receiver caught the pass, had room, got it all the way down in the red zone inside the 25, but fumbled. I guess they're going to look at it, but it was called a fumble on the field, and these are hard to overturn. It's close. It's close, but these are hard to overturn. You got to have exactly the right camera angle to try to see when that ball starts to come loose. I'm sure they'll take a look at it, but it looks like a fumble probably. Let's see. Let's hope Dabo didn't flip burgers before the game. Yeah, okay. Trey Bartolo, thank you for the super chat. Since Oregon is only a 7-point favorite against Tech, should I just go ahead and bet the house on it? LOL. Well, I will say this. Vegas is generally smarter than we are. And when you see weird lines like that, there's usually a reason. Another weird one. We were just talking about Oklahoma State. They're a very small favorite against Arizona State this week. And Arizona State's one of the worst teams in the Power 5. You see weird things like that, sometimes it means Vegas knows something us idiots don't know. So I'm not going to give you any gambling advice, but that does seem like a low line. I will agree with you there. That seems like a low line to me. Jonathan Moxley says, BA for Congress. What? You don't have time for that, do you?
No.
She doesn't have time for that, she said. Georgia versus South Carolina prediction. I'll let you know in 2 weeks when that game comes around. I mean, obviously, I think Georgia's going to win. But it's a home game for Georgia, and South Carolina doesn't appear to be any good. But other than that, I'll let you know the week of the game more what I think about that one. Travis Kirk, thank you for the super chat. He says, Taters with the great value Lincoln Riley offense. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Yeah, I do like Garrett Riley, though. As an OC, the same way I like Lincoln Riley. I'd love to have Lincoln Riley as my offensive coordinator. Is there anybody in the chat that wouldn't like to have Lincoln Riley as their offensive coordinator? I'd love to have Lincoln Riley as my offensive coordinator. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my head coach's chair.
Really?
Fuck no. The guy only cares about half of the game. The offensive half. So, yeah, I'd love to have Lincoln Riley as my offensive coordinator, but he ain't getting nowhere near my head coach's chair. Tennessee Boy says, I sub $20 on Patreon. What benefits do I get. When it tells you over there what all comes with each individual thing over there on the Patreon page. Let's take roll. Should we do that? You want to?
Let's take roll.
Okay, we're gonna take roll now. Everyone have a seat and raise your hand when I call your name. LS Momo 55, Bow Hunting 101, Sam, Ringo Stargazer, Joshua George, Mike the Tiger, All Is Calm, Jedediah Houghton, Law, Justin Thomas, Rosh, Kentucky Blue, Tactical Matt Foley, in a van down by the river. That's Matt Foley. Oh. Matt Foley's a motivational speaker. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
I did know that.
Yeah. Troy Lee Nugent, J.R. D. Taylor, William Gleaton, box of biscuits. Wow. All right, let's see what they do here. What'd they do with this play here? Are they still reviewing it, or what did they do? Chuck Simmons, Bobo's headset, Jacob De Silva, Austin LeBeau, Mike the Tiger, Jazz Jackson. I guess they're still reviewing it. Isn't this ridiculous? 4 or 5 minutes for it. They went to a whole commercial break and back, and they're still reviewing it. That tells me the play is going to stand as called on the field, because you need irrefutable evidence to overturn the call. If there's clear and irrefutable evidence, you can see that in about 30 seconds. You don't need to take 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes here. So the play, I guess, is going to stand, and it'll be Tater's ball on their own 25. Oh, no, they said he was down. Wow. Duke catches a break there. 1st and 10 Dukies in the red zone. I believe it's going to be around the 23, 24-yard line. So here we go. First red zone possession of the game for either team. Clemson had the ball, picked up 1 first down, then had to punt it away. Duke has had no problem going right down the field, all through the air. Not a single running play for Duke. 1st and 10 on the 24, in the red zone. Riley Leonard shotgun. Looking over at the line of scrimmage. Now at the sideline, Now he's ready. Snap. This time they hand it off. Nowhere to go. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 2nd and 10 coming up for Duke. I don't know. Be Creepy, thank you for the super chat. I don't know anyone who's better than whoever kept calling run plays in North Carolina versus Gamecocks. All that hype for an embarrassing loss. Shaking my head. Hopefully we can fix and improve. I don't want to rain on your parade, but I don't know how much better that offensive line can get over the course of the season. 2nd and 9 here for Duke. Shotgun again. Riley Leonard gets the ball back to throw this time. Complete. Whoa! Okie doke! That's going to be a touchdown for the Duke. No, tackled at the 4-yard line. Boy, these Clemson DBs are getting absolutely humiliated. These wide receivers are putting every fucking video game juke move imaginable on these Tater DBs, and it's working every single time. That last Clemson guy's going to have to go all the way back to like the 18-yard line to pick his purse up off the ground. 1st and goal for Duke inside the 5 at the 4.5. 4 wide receivers, 1 at the bottom, 3 up top. Leonard in a shotgun. Snap. Handoff. Again, just no room on the ground between the tackles. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gained half a yard. 2nd and goal coming up now with the 4. Are you not excited for the 45 minutes of football with the 2.5 hours of commercials? You're damn right I am. Yeah. Thank you, Voltard Rep. Yeah. Second and goal coming up for Duke. Riley Leonard back to throw. Looks into the end zone. Over the head of the receiver. It's going to be 3rd and goal. You know, this is a problem when you can't run the ball. You get down here inside the 5-yard line and the field gets a lot smaller. You don't have the room to just run your wide receivers around like you do when you're at midfield. And when you can't run the ball at all, I mean, Clemson can drop, 7, 8 players back into coverage and just blanket the end zone. And it makes it hard to score through the air here when you're in tight like this. 3rd and goal coming up for Duke now. From the 4. Same formation, 4 wide, 3 on the top, 1 at the bottom. Running back standing next to Leonard, who's in a shotgun. Now he's ready. Snap, back to throw. Into the end zone, incomplete. Over the head of the receiver again. 4th and goal, kick the field goal, Dukies. Don't be dumb like Brian Kelly. Don't be a fucking idiot like Brian Kelly is. Jesus. Please don't be that dumb. 151. Y'all are sick, man. I'm serious. Thank you for the super chat, 151. Let me see this field goal and I'll read that. From the left hash, about a 22-yarder. Did he miss that? No, he made it. I thought he missed it wide right. He made it. Duke 3, Clemson 0. Damn. 151 says, hey Lou, Utah fan here. If Florida can't beat our 4th-string QB, who can they beat? And why do their fans think Mertz throwing 300 yards is great? Well, the reason they think Mertz throwing for 300 yards is great, there's 2 reasons. 1, they're stupid. 2, they have nothing else to talk about or brag about in that game. Now, generally speaking, if I don't watch a football game, and someone tells me, hey, the QB threw for 300 yards, your natural reaction is to go, well, that's pretty good, right? That's like a benchmark, you know. Generally speaking, if someone tells you such and such threw for 300 yards today, generally that's pretty good. The problem is he threw the ball 50 times to get the 300 yards. That's the problem. 300 yards and 50 attempts is not very impressive. Carson Beck, in his first start of his college career, threw the ball 30 times for 300 yards on Saturday. And you're going to say, well, that was against a group of 5 team. Yeah, I know that. I'm not saying that to brag about how amazing Carson Beck is. The point is, you should be getting to 300 yards in the 25 to 30, maybe 35 pass attempt range, not 50. 50 attempts, 300 yards, that's 6 yards per attempt. So no, it's not impressive, but they don't have anything else to brag about. Their coach is horrible and doesn't know what he's doing. Their offensive line doesn't exist. They can't run the ball. Their defense is better, but not as good as advertised. And they lost to a 3rd and a 4th-string quarterback. They've lost, 4 games in a row now? They lost to Vandy, Florida State, Oregon State, Utah. They're on a 4-game losing streak. You know, their coach is the fastest to get to 8 losses in, program history. It's just alarmingly bad, really. Rendell Sanchez, thank you for the super chat. He says, FSU fan, I like these refs against these Tigers. What? FSU fans and blaming the refs. Y'all have some kind of a disease. There wasn't a single controversial call in the Florida State LSU game yesterday. Not a single one. And the Florida State fans cried and bitched and moaned and bellyached for 2 hours about the referees in that game. I don't understand. I don't get it. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves, crying and bitching and moaning about the referees in yesterday's Florida State LSU game. And now I guess we got one here that shows up and thinks the referees are now out to get Clemson in this game. I don't understand. Where are these referees from? Like the Pac-12 or something? I don't know. The ACC. So these are probably ACC referees since this is an ACC game. So the ACC referees just hate Clemson? Is that what it is? I don't understand, man. Y'all are weird. Florida State fans are weird. I think it's because they haven't been any good in so long. They finally are, and they just don't know how to act. Duke kicks off after making a field goal. They're on top 3-0. Returned at the 5, 10, 15, 20. Across the 25 to the 26, 27-yard line. Will Shipley, a one-man band for Clemson. That's their entire offense is Will Shipley. At least that was the case on the last drive. It was all Will Shipley runs. And then a pass to Will Shipley in the backfield. And then a Cade Klubnik pass to a Duke defensive back that was dropped. And then a punt. And now Will Shipley returns the kick, too. So it's literally a one-man band for Clemson with Will Shipley. Cade Klubnik takes the field for Clemson's second possession of the game. 1st and 10 Taters on their own 27-yard line. Shotgun, snap, play action pass, hitch pass, sails 10 yards over the head of the wide receiver. Literally the deal where you get the ball, turn and throw it to the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage. You threw it 10 yards over his head. By the way, Clemson fans, the DJ Ukulele completed 80% of his passes on Saturday with 5 total touchdowns. Good luck with Klubnik, though. 2nd and 10 now for Clemson. 4 wide, 3 at the bottom, 1 up top. Of course, Will Shipley in the backfield. Let's see. I'm pretty sure they're going to get him the ball here. It's the only thing that works. They're going to throw it to him? No, throw over the middle. Wide open receiver, too. Upended just short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Nice play by Clemson there on a crossing route. Yeah, receiver just running wide open across the middle of the field. 3rd and 1 for the Taters. Will Shipley on the handoff. Needs 1, picks up 3. First down, Clemson up to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 right there. Super Denny Gumper says, hot take, the Taters are softer than the suck nuts. Don't at me. Oh, man, I don't know about that take there. I don't know if I can agree with that. I don't know if I can agree with that, Denny. You're pretty far out on a flimsy limb there. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Duke 3, Clemson 0. Hand off to Will Shipley. Has room outside, across midfield, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line into Duke territory. Just a simple handoff off left tackle. Duke lost contain on the outside. Shipley got around the corner. Chased out of bounds in Duke territory at the 49. Another first down for Clemson. GF Sports, thank you for the super chat. He says, I love your streams as always, Lou. I won a raffle today that won me a signed Stetson Bennett card and a Brock Bowers card. Good deal, buddy. 1st and 10, Clemson. Looks like they spotted it right at midfield. Back to throw. Looking, going deep. Double coverage. Nearly intercepted. I don't understand what's happening here. He threw that. The wide receiver was blanketed by 2 Duke DBs. One over the top and one underneath. I don't understand the logic here. Very lucky not to get that picked off. In no universe was that wide receiver considered open. I don't know what that was there. Don't know what that was there. Bobo's headset, thank you for the super chat. He says, make sure to check out the Patreon. The Patreon streams are well worth the price of admission. Thank you, Bobo's headset. Yeah, the Patreon link is in the description of the video if anybody wants to check it out. We do these streams, the game streams, every Saturday on Patreon during the season. Quarterback draw this time from Klubnik. And he's going to pick up the first down. On 2nd and 10, he gains 11 yards. Boy, he looked very uncomfortable running the ball, but he manages to pick it up. Looked very uncomfortable running the ball, but he picks up the first down. Another first down for Clemson. Good-looking drive here on the 40. Rolls out this time, throws wide open. Same guy as last time. Same route, just from the other direction. The last time he was lined up on the right side, crossing route. This time he lines up on the left, same crossing route, just right across, sort of behind the linebackers and in front of the DBs and wide open again. Now they throw it to that number, the same guy, but this time a swing pass, and Duke eats that up for a loss of about 4 or 5 yards. Went to the well one too many times with that number 0. 2nd and long coming up now for Clemson. Jedediah Hooten, thank you for the super chat. How do you feel about Tennessee's secondary giving 100 yards to UVA? I know they aren't a good team, but that's an improvement in my eyes. Yeah, Tennessee's defense played good. I mean, you know, I know it was Virginia, like you said, but I mean, what else can you do? You know, they look good. Nowhere to go. 2nd and 13. I think that's Moffitt. The backup running back for Clemson on the ground picks up nothing. 3rd and 13 now for Klubnik and the Clemson Taters. Big third down here. They're in field goal range, I would imagine. unless they just have no field goal kicker at all, or unless Dabo is going to do something stupid like Brian Kelly. On the 25-yard line, 3rd and 13. Klubnik shotgun, back to throw. Looks under pressure, gets rid of it, caught short, and tackled right away. Might have gained a yard, maybe 2. It's going to be 4th and about 11, and Clemson's going to have about a 40-yard field goal here to try to tie it up. So just like Duke, Clemson has a nice-looking drive, goes down the field, bogs down, and ends up having to settle for a field goal here. Of course, one of Dabo's kids is the holder. From the right hash, it's going to be a 41-yarder. Snap, hold, kick, block! Blocked! Wow.
Wow.
Special teams, C-. C-. Special teams, C-. Oh my God. I just want to troll. Since when did it become a thing to do fireworks on Labor Day? Are people doing fireworks wherever y'all are at?
I heard some last night.
These people are going ham around here with fireworks on Labor Day. I never even knew that was a thing. Juan 51 says, what's the most delusional fan bases in the SEC ranked? Oh man, I don't know if I can come up with like a top 5 in order off the top of my head. I mean, well, if you're talking about like in general over the last 10 years or so, Tennessee. Now, I don't think they're the most delusional today, right now, but overarching 10-year period, Tennessee, and no one else is even close. Right now, the most delusional, man. Florida fans are down real bad. It's not them. They're down real bad. Carolina fans are down bad. There's some delusional Auburn fans. I don't know how many, but there's some delusional Auburn fans that think they're winning the West. Maybe Auburn. I really don't know. I'd have to think more about that. Those are usually things I do in the off season. Most delusional fan bases, dumbest fan bases, that kind of thing. Nemesis, thank you for the super chat. He says, if Colorado was undefeated going into USC, do you think they have a chance? I don't care what Colorado's record is going into USC. No, they don't have a chance. No. Brian Gentry, thank you for the super chat. He says, fireworks here in Indianapolis too. Okay. All right. Let's see. Gmail says, Florida man started a GoFundMe to buy out Coach Billy Taggart. I don't like Billy Taggart. It's Cajun Willie Taggart. That's Billy Napier. Cajun Willie Taggart. Oh, what's up, Ryan? Good morning to you too, sir. Fireworks here because it's my birthday, says the Uncle Jake. You shoot off fireworks on your birthday? Now that's weird too, isn't it? Unless you're born on New Year's Eve or the 4th of July, shooting off fireworks just because it's your birthday seems a little weird to me. It seems a little weird to me.
That is a little weird.
Is Duke a dark horse? Dark horse for what? Dark horse for what? I got a great idea, Lou. You sit down and let your wife call the game. She does that sometimes. She'll come up here and call a game or call a play or two sometimes. All right, here we go. Duke with the ball following the blocked field goal attempt. 1st and 10 on their own 24. Rolls out to his right. Riley Leonard throws. Has to just get rid of it. Nowhere to go with the ball. 2nd and 10 now coming up for Duke. William Amo, I think that is. Thank you for the super chat. Adam, the sports guy. What's up, buddy? He says Labor Day ain't played nobody. Who would win between Labor Day and Memorial Day, do you think?
Oh my god.
Probably Memorial Day. I think Memorial Day would win. You know what it is? Memorial Day marks like the beginning of summer. Labor Day marks the end. And the beginning of summer is more exciting to most people than the end of summer. So I would say that Memorial Day would be a 2-touchdown favorite over Labor Day.
I'd agree with that.
Duke back to throw. 2nd and 10. Riley Leonard running for his life. Has to throw it away again. Clemson's done figured something out. They've locked down the coverage on these last couple of plays here from Duke. 2 pass attempts twice. Riley Leonard's had to just throw it away. 3rd and 10 coming up now for the Dukies. Texas meets. I think that's Texas meets. TX meets. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Good to see you in here. Clemson and Duke. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Duke up 3-0. Clemson just had a field goal attempt blocked. So they are scoreless. 3rd and 10 coming up now for Duke. 3 wide receivers. Riley Leonard in a shotgun. A running back there with him. He's ready for the snap. And there's the snap. Gonna hand it off.
Wow.
That's the best running play of the day for Duke, but it only picks up 4 yards. 4th and about 6, and Duke's gonna have to kick it away here. Huffer Billy Paul says Clemson O is sputtering. Well, you think? I would agree with you there. Uncle Lou stand up longer than a black preacher. You know what? The sad part is, even before I used to stream games on YouTube, this is still how I watch college football. I just can't sit down. As soon as I sit down, some team does something dumb and I get pissed off and I'm right up yelling at the TV anyway. So now I just stand here the whole time. Good punt coverage that time by Duke. Not much of a return. Clemson will take over on their own 20-yard line. Labor Day more important, start of college football. Now that is an obvious advantage that Labor Day has over Memorial Day. So if Labor Day could exploit that advantage over Memorial Day, then Labor Day I think could pull the upset over Memorial Day. But I would still have Memorial Day listed as about a 2-touchdown favorite over Labor Day. Stands up as long as a football coach. Yeah. Well, actually longer. On Saturday, because on Saturdays I do this for like 10 hours a day. 1st and 10 for Clemson. Cade Klubnik back to throw. Tipped in the air. And wow. Hot potato. Lucky that wasn't intercepted. That thing was tipped up into the air and came down into a pile of about 4 or 5 Clemson and Duke players. And, boy, Klubnik avoids disaster for a second time. Will Shipley on the ground this time picks up about 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Taters now. 3rd and 6 for the Taters. Klubnik is awful. Yeah, so far he doesn't look that great. I'll be honest with you. Maybe some jitters, I'm not sure. Like I said, he played a lot last year. Not just mop-up duty either. I mean, they put him in the first and second quarter in a lot of games. And then he started at the end of the year. So, hitch pass, complete. But he's going to be tackled well short of the first down. Needed 6 yards, only picked up maybe 3. 4th and 3 from their own 27. And Clemson's going to have to send a punt team back out onto the field. 3 and out. 3 and out for Dabo Swinney, Garrett Riley, Cade Klubnik, and the Tater offense. Yeah, facts. Really? There's been 3 passes that Cade Klubnik has thrown that could have been interceptions. The one that he threw right to the Duke player on the first possession. On the second possession when he threw the post route into double coverage. And the third possession when the ball got tipped up in the air. So in every single possession, Cade Klubnik has thrown a ball that he's lucky was not intercepted. He could easily have 3 interceptions right now. Great thing about Labor Day is football starts. I love college football. Go Jets. I love college football, and then he names an NFL team, I think. I love college football too, man. I do. I live for college football. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's the greatest sport in the history of planet Earth. I absolutely love college football. All right, here's Duke back out on the field. 1st and 10, up 3-0 over Clemson. 2:53 to go in the first quarter. On the ground on first down, picks up 3 yards, I guess. It's going to be 2nd and about 7. Little inside zone off right tackle, picks up 2 or 3 yards. Second and 8, they're going to call. I thought he picked up more than 2 yards, but they call it 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 it is. Leonard in a shotgun. Play action pass. This time gets rid of it quick on a tunnel screen. And the Duke wide receiver slips forward for a first down. Needed 8, gained 9. 1st and 10, Dukies. Do you think Colorado will or should be ranked tomorrow? That's going to be interesting to see. They probably will, somewhere in the 20 to 25 range in the AP and the coaches would be my guess. Wide open Duke receiver on a wheel route all the way down to the 25-yard line. Wow, that had to have been a blown coverage by the Taters that time. This man was camped out, came right out of the backfield on a wheel route, and nobody picked him up. He raced down the sideline into the red zone. 1st and 10, Duke. A huge play for the Blue Devils there. They're back in business with 1:44 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Dabo needs to learn to use the transfer portal, says Jonathan Moxley. Yeah, the ostrich routine, sticking his head in the sand and pretending the transfer portal doesn't exist just because he doesn't like it, is not doing Clemson any favors. Clemson 100% could have benefited from the portal this last season on the offensive line and at wide receiver. Riley Leonard keeps on a QB draw that time. No gain. No gain. Did y'all see Keon Coleman last night for Florida State? Imagine if he had a Clemson helmet on right now. Because Florida State went out and got him from the portal, and he might be the best wide receiver in the ACC. 2nd and 9. Man in motion, Riley Leonard, hand off, looking for room. Finds a little, might have gained 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6, though, coming up for Duke. What's the difference between LSU and FSU? One starts with an L. Yeah, a giant L. LSU's not only lost 3 of their last 4 games, they've gotten blown out in 3 of their last 4 games, going back to last year. They got blown out by Texas A&M in the last game of the regular season, blown out by Georgia in the SEC championship game, beat a terrible Purdue team in a bowl game that nobody watched, and then got blown out yesterday by Florida State. Been blown out in 3 of their last 4 games. Trucking with Jeter, thank you for the super chat. I just want to hear the 5-star dummy sometime tonight. Somebody will say something stupid soon enough. Yes, they will. It won't be long. You already know. It's probably already happened. I just haven't seen it. Let me take a look at the regular comment section. I could probably find something. Why do you call LSU the Corn Dogs? I didn't make that up. They've been called that for a while by opposing fan bases. It goes back to a Katy Perry appearance on College Game Day in Baton Rouge one time when she said the whole place smelled like corn dogs. Is 10-0 out of reach for Clemson? Well, what about their 11th and 12th game? What do you think? They're going to go 10-0, then what? Then they're going to... That's just a weird question. When a team plays 12 games, asking me if they can go 10-0, so what about... It just doesn't make any sense. If Duke wins, the Rob Sanders meltdown will be amazing. Yeah, it will. It will. Thank you, Elijah Allen, for the super chat. Notre Dame is running all over Clemson, says Basketball Addict. I don't know if anybody will run all over Clemson. I don't know that running is the way to beat Clemson. I think throwing is the way to beat Clemson. Clemson's front 7 is probably all going to be in the NFL one day. Their secondary is very suspect. That's about like saying Notre Dame would run all over Georgia. It just wouldn't happen. Nobody runs on Georgia. Duke to win the national championship, LOL. Yep, there you go. There we go.
5-star dummy.
Is this The Exorcist?
I think it's the nun.
Didn't we watch that?
I think it's
Another one?
yeah, another one.
If Clemson loses, Dabo will just spend a post-game press conference crying about NIL and the transfer portal. Facts. And how not enough players were all in and, whatever else he likes to cry about. ESPN's just been waiting on him to lose or whatever other dumb shit he likes to say. Can you believe Riley has only scored 7 points in his last 5 quarters? Poverty! Poverty! My old high school friend is a producer for the new Exorcist. Man, I can't wait to see that movie. That thing. What movie was that we went to see?
Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah. When we went to see Oppenheimer at the theater, they showed the trailer for the new Exorcist movie. I didn't even know they were making a new Exorcist movie until I saw the trailer when we went to see Oppenheimer. But, yeah, I can't wait to see that. And then I don't know if y'all are watching this game, and not everybody sees the same commercials, but they just showed a commercial for something called The Nun.
Yep.
Yeah, something called The Nun. It looked pretty good, too. Yabba Dabba Dabbo will have a pizza party if they come back in this game. Well, win or lose, he still has a McDonald's Play Palace in the Players Lounge back on campus at Clemson with a slide and a ball pit and a fucking putt-putt course and all that other dumb shit that Clemson has in their locker room.
I'm kind of interested to see that, actually.
What?
That'd be interesting to see.
What?
The slide, the ball pit.
Google Dabo Swinney slide.
No, I've seen that. I've seen you show it before.
Yeah.
But...
They got fucking a statue of Grimace. They got the whole fucking...
What?
fucking the Hamburglar running around. Drop it in to say, hey, woo, looks like a good game. Yeah, Nick, so far. Actually, Duke looks like the much better team so far, at least in the first quarter. It's early. Who knows what'll happen, but yeah. All right, 3rd and 6. Duke in a shotgun. Back to throw. Riley Leonard looking complete, but tackled for a loss. Boy, I don't understand. Duke started out throwing the ball downfield, and it was working, and lately it seems like all of their completions are these hitch passes and swing passes and tunnel screens, and I don't know, they're not working. They try one here and end up losing 3 yards. Now it's going to be a long field goal attempt. Real long. It's like a 45-yard field goal attempt. Now, 4th and 9. From the left hash, a 42-yard field goal attempt. Snap, hold, kick. Looks good, though. And it is. The Dukies extend their lead. Duke 6, Clemson nothing. This is the problem when you're an underdog like Duke is. So, Duke's expected to lose this game. Clemson's favored by about 14. This is the problem. You absolutely dominate. And in one play, Clemson can have the lead now because you couldn't finish these drives, You're up 6-0. It could easily be 14-0. You've completely dominated the game, and Clemson is one athlete or one big play away from being up by 1 point, 7-6. And you see this all the time when these teams are trying to pull upsets, but unable to capitalize on drives. We'll see if it comes back to bite Duke, but if they end up losing a close one, they're going to regret. How they ended these drives here in the first quarter. 14 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the second quarter now, though. Duke getting ready to kick off after its second field goal. They're up 6-0 over Clemson. What if Duke beats them by only scoring field goals? That'd be amazing. Took Duke, Clemson tied at half, then Duke winning plus 3,000. Wow. Like as a parlay? It's a weird parlay. 6 points is better than Brian Kelly did in the first quarter. Well, that's true. Brian Kelly chose to go for it on 4th down and kept not getting it because he's an idiot. money line? No. Duke is not. Duke winning is not plus 3,000 on the money line. Nowhere near that. 1st and 10. It's like plus 250. Will Shipley on the ground, bottled up at the line of scrimmage, but gets loose. 8-9 yards. Wow, probably should have been tackled for no gain. Bounces it to the outside, though, and picks up 8 or 9 yards, and the one-man show continues. If it ain't Will Shipley, it ain't no good. If you're wearing a Clemson hat or a Clemson helmet and you ain't Will Shipley, you ain't no good. But Will Shipley is putting on a show. 2nd and 2 now for Clemson. Shipley again. Needed 2, gained 3 or 4. First down, Clemson. What's with these mid-game coach interviews now? How that's going to go, sticking a camera in Saban's face mid-game if they're down? Well, that's not going to happen with Saban. Tell you that right now. He'll just politely say no. I can't imagine Saban giving an interview in the middle of a quarter, middle of a half. 1st and 10 for Clemson on their own 36. Klubnik back to throw. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Caught for no gain. Receiver caught the ball and immediately stepped out of bounds. Literally gained nothing. 2nd and 10 coming up now for Clemson. 20-year-old Opie. His name was Richie Cunningham. Okay. LSU gave up at halftime, says Jonathan Moxley. Yeah, that second half was absolutely horrible for LSU. You know what? Did y'all watch the Georgia Tech Louisville game? Same thing. Exact same thing. 2nd and 10. Klubnik back, looking under pressure, scrambles out to his right, throws. Knocked away at the last minute, incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up for Clemson. Even if the Taters win tonight, they're going to get exposed somewhere else in the season. Well, they play Florida State. They play Notre Dame. I mean, those are 2 potential teams that could beat Clemson. Not saying they will, but those are the 2 highest-ranked teams that Clemson plays, Notre Dame and Florida State, right? They get Florida State at home. I think they get Notre Dame at home, too. Third and 10 for Clemson. Klubnik back to throw. 3-man rush from Duke. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Hit a receiver in the hands, and he dropped it. 4th and 10. Clemson has to punt it away. Lou, your Dogs won me a bet 2 years ago when they took out Dabo Flabo in the first game of the year. The credit goes to you. No, that credit goes to you, sir. Don't ever take my advice when it comes to picking games or betting on games or whatever. You're the one that has to pull the trigger and do it, so you get all the credit for that. That was a strange game there. No offensive touchdowns in that game. Georgia won 10-3 and the only touchdown scored was a Christopher Smith pick 6 for UGA. Georgia won 10-3. Very strange game. 4th and 10. Clemson kicks it away. Rugby style kick. Oh God, Duke fumbled it. Clemson's ball. Rugby style kick, end over end, bouncing on the ground. The Duke guy tried to field it. It took a funny hop, and he fumbled it. And now Clemson's in business here. 1st and 10 in the red zone, inside the 20. It looks like. Man, what are you doing, Dookie? Yeah, it's clearly Clemson's ball. Wow. Boneheaded move by Duke man there. Boneheaded move by the Duke man there. Why doesn't Clemson just run the ball? Yeah, so far that's all that's really working for him is the Will Shipley show. Clemson's still not going to score. They better score here. Hell, you don't get too many opportunities like this. A turnover in the opposing team's red zone. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Klubnik, play action pass, hitch pass complete. Inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Pickup of 9. 2nd and 1 from the 9. Duke just took all the air out of their chances. Yeah, those are the types of things you just can't allow to happen. I mean, Duke had all the momentum, and you just gave it all away right there. 2nd and 1 now for Clemson. Klubnik in a shotgun. Man in motion, it's that number 0. Klubnik's going to keep. Picks up the first down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. First and goal, Clemson from the 4. And see, this is the problem. Duke dominated the first 20 minutes of the game, and they're about to be losing by 1 point. Clemson's going to punch this in. First and goal for Clemson from the 3. Will Shipley hit and tackled at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Second and goal from the 3. Mark Sawyers, good to see you in here, buddy. He says, this is for Waffle House or Tommy Fries. You pick. Go Vols. Boy, man, thank you. That's a tough to say. You can't go wrong with either one. Waffle House or Tommy Fries, either one is a winner every single time. Thank you, Mark. Don Yother, probably said that wrong. I apologize if I did. Thank you for supporting the channel, buddy. I appreciate that. RR says, Scroder Dame. Second and 10, Clemson on the ground to the 2. I think I said second and 10, a second and goal. Third and goal now from the 2-yard line. Clemson did nothing to earn that. I hate it when big favorites catch lucky breaks. Yeah, I mean, well, Duke's got nobody to blame but themselves. I mean, they dominated the first 20 minutes of the game, can't capitalize with touchdowns, end up settling for 2 field goals. They're only up 6-0. One special teams mistake, and now Clemson's going to score and take the lead, probably, right? Third and goal from the 2. Throws, caught, Will Shipley into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. I mean, that's a shame for Duke, but that's why you have to capitalize on those drives early in games at home. You have to figure the best Duke is going to play is probably the first quarter of this game. First game of the year, home environment, all the momentum, the crowd's on your side, right? And they played great in the first quarter until they got inside the 20-yard line, and they just couldn't do anything. Ended up settling for 2 field goals. The defense continued to play well, forcing Clemson to punt. One special teams mistake, you give Clemson first and 10 in the red zone, they capitalize. So Clemson, if you just go by the clock, we're 5 minutes into the second quarter, okay? So we've been playing for 20 minutes. Duke has won 18 minutes of the game. Clemson has won 2 minutes of the game. Clemson's winning 7-6. Hard to pull an upset that way if you're Duke. Hard to pull an upset that way. Hard to pull the upset that way. Also, and do. Did you all see Bo Nix is projected in the first round? I did not see that. No, I did not see that. Duke and LSU went to the same special teams convention. Oh man, that's definitely the problem. That's definitely the problem. Who gave me this?
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever seen
No,
that.
you've seen it because it was at the softball game. Somebody gave it to me, and I can't fucking remember.
Wait, this past softball game?
Yeah.
Really?
And I feel bad because I don't remember who the fuck it was.
I don't know who gave that to you.
Get one around me. Football is a fickle mistress. Says Tercero 87. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you're a Duke fan, you go from being on top of the world because you're dominating the game, you're up, Clemson can't do shit. One mistake, and now you're losing. That's just, it's very, well, first of all, it's hard to pull an upset, period. You're a 14-point underdog, so a lot of things got to go your way to win if you're Duke. You're a 14-point underdog. And you really couldn't have started any better than you did. Defensively, Clemson was struggling against you. You were holding Clemson's offense in check. Offensively, you were driving the ball right down the field. You just couldn't capitalize in the red zone. You end up settling for 2 field goals instead of 2 touchdowns. One special teams mistake, and now Clemson is on top 7-6. Duke is going to need some turnovers to win this game. Well, Cade Klubnik's trying to give Duke turnovers. Cade Klubnik has thrown 3 passes that should have been intercepted. None of them were. But if he keeps doing it, eventually one of them will be. Duke looks better than those fuck purple corn dogs, in my opinion. Uncle Lou, who would win, Jackie Chan or Josh Heupel's third chin? Jackie Chan wouldn't even be close. Jackie Chan's a bad motherfucker. The thing about Jackie Chan, the thing that's so tricky about Jackie Chan is he'll whip your ass with whatever's around. I mean, it don't matter. Like, if you're fighting Jackie Chan in this room, I mean, he might just, he might just pick up this Coke can and kill you with it. I mean, literally, Jackie Chan could pick up this floor fan and wrap the wire around your neck, shove the fan down your throat, just all kinds of weird shit. Jackie Chan is an environmental menace. He'll use whatever's around him. He don't give a shit. He'll take this notebook, rip a piece of paper out, shove it down your throat, make you choke on it. He's just all, a lot of, what?
You need anything on the way back?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, Jackie Chan is bad.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's a bad motherfucker. All right, Clemson getting ready to kick off now. They're up 7-6, 10:09 to go in the second quarter. And here is the kick. A knuckleball fielded at the 2. Across the 10, 15, 20. Tackled at the 24. Duke will take over 1st and 10 on their own 24-yard line. If LSU and Florida played, how many overtimes before they call it a tie 0-0? LSU would beat the absolute soul out of Florida. I think some people have the wrong idea about LSU. Now, I'm going to laugh and make fun of LSU for getting blown out, but the reality is LSU is a good team. And Florida State humiliated them. So draw whatever conclusion from that you want to, but LSU is a good team. They would beat, and LSU and Florida play this year. LSU will beat the shit out of them. That won't even be a contest. Riley Leonard throws incomplete, and the receiver takes a huge hit for his trouble. 2nd and 10 now for Duke. Clemson has changed something up defensively in the secondary or something. The first few drives for Duke seemed easy. Now, there appears to be nowhere for Riley Leonard to go to the ball. Almost every pass he throws lately is at or behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 now coming up for Duke. Love the new setup for the mini helmet wall. Now we just need an Uncle Lou mini helmet, says JD. I do need to get an Uncle Lou mini helmet. Maybe get the LouTube logo put on the side. Empty backfield. Riley Leonard throws deep this time. Incomplete. Had a go route down the left sideline. Good coverage on the play. Ball falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up now. Denny, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm not a fan of bullying, but number 5 on Duke better attend all his classes tomorrow and face the noise if they lose this game. Yeah, that was boneheaded special teams mistake there on that last possession, for sure. Gators look suspect. Lou, I think my Noles get them easily this year, yeah. Yeah, the Gators are in rough shape. Now, Florida versus South Carolina might be a good game, but the Florida versus LSU, no, LSU is going to destroy them. 3rd and 10 for Duke. Riley Leonard takes off running, lots of room, dives forward and picks up the 1st down. It seems like that's the first positive play Duke has had in quite some time. 1st and 10, Duke on about the, where is that now? First and 10 for Duke after that Riley Leonard scramble. On their own 35. 3 wide this time. Referees want to stop the play for something. What's going on? Did somebody call a timeout? What happened? Did Clemson call timeout or something? What the fuck happened? Who called timeout? Clemson? Oh, a booth review. Somebody says booth review for targeting. Okay. Somebody said booth review for targeting. Some of y'all are saying Clemson timeout, so I don't know. We'll see. The creator. Fun. Daniel Rivera, thank you for the super chat. Florida fans need not speak until they stop embarrassing the SEC. Florida's lost back-to-back games to Pac-12 teams, and that's bad. That is bad. Daryl says timeout Clemson. Well, if it should be a targeting review, it would be stupid for Clemson to call timeout and give them more time to consider doing a targeting review. All right, let's see here. I'm rooting for DJ. I watched all the clown Clemson fans commenting on that post Hayes had. I don't know what post you're talking about, but DJ Ukulele looked good this weekend. Completed 80% of his passes and scored 5 total touchdowns. He looked good at Oregon State this past weekend. What is the game food tonight? I had sub sandwiches for dinner. And then I think in the second half, I made a big batch of boiled peanuts on Thursday, and I've been eating them for the last 3 or 4 days. I think I'm going to heat me up some boiled peanuts to eat in the second half of the game. Jersey Mike's, no, I had Subway. I had Subway. Knoxville says, if Florida keeps Napier too long, they will be where Tennessee was the last 15 years. Well, they're already on that road. I mean, they're on their 5th coach in the last 12 years. So they're already on that road. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says, if the state of North Carolina goes 2-0 against South Carolina this week, South Carolina needs to leave the Union. We're going to trade South Carolina to North Korea. Just the entire state of South Carolina can trade it to North Korea. All right, here we go. Back to play here. Clemson 7, Duke 6. Duke 1st and 10 on their own 37. Play action pass. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. And yeah, Clemson did call a timeout. That's what that stoppage was, because they show it now with just 2 timeouts remaining for Clemson. The last time South Carolina left the Union, it was a disaster. Yeah, it was. They got humiliated. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. 4 wide. Leonard in a shotgun again. Running back there with him. Snap, back to throw. Looking. Wants to run. Takes off. Gets loose. Dives forward for 8. Maybe 9 yards. That's about the only decent play Duke can come up with over these last couple of drives is a QB scramble. It's going to be 3rd and short now for Duke. 3rd and short now for Duke. Malcolm Hillsman says, hey Lou, just joined the Patreon page. Been watching for a while. Love your videos and your commentary. Thank you, Malcolm. I appreciate that, buddy. Make sure you vote in the poll that's over there on the Patreon page. I do a poll every week, and the Patreon people determine what time I stream on Saturday. So make sure you vote on that poll over there. 3rd and 2 for Duke. Flags come in. Somebody must have moved. Looks like a false start on the Dukies. Not good. Yep, false start. So instead of 3rd and 2, they're going to be looking at a 3rd and 7 now. 8:32 to go in the first quarter. Clemson 7, Duke 6. Duke absolutely dominated the first quarter of the game. But once they got in the red zone, they couldn't do anything. Had to settle for 2 field goals. They were up 6-0. Defense continued to play well. A special teams blunder by Duke led to an easy 7 points for Clemson. Duke fumbled a punt. Clemson jumped on it, scored 3 or 4 plays later from the red zone. Clemson 7, Duke 6, 8:15 to go in the second quarter. 3rd and 7 following the false start penalty. Riley in a shotgun, snap, back to throw. Steps up, gets rid of it, caught, but at the line of scrimmage for literally no gain. 4th and 7, and Duke's going to have to kick it away, just under 8 minutes to go. Travis Kirk, thank you for the super chat. Dabo Swinney without a generational QB is Butch Jones. Wow. I disagree with that. I think what Dabo Swinney is without a generational QB is Mark Richt. Without a generational quarterback, Dabo Swinney is Mark Richt, I think would be more accurate. Dabo Swinney's not going to go 0-8 in the SEC like Butch Jones went 0-8 in the SEC. He's not going to have very many 5-win seasons like Butch Jones did. I think Mark Richt would be a more apt comparison. The kick is away for Duke. This one's going to be fielded inside the 10 at the 6-yard line. Oh, he got lucky. He got away. Boy, that could have been disastrous for Clemson. The Clemson return man fielded the punt running backwards. Momentum carried him back to about the 2 or 3 yard line, and he was lucky to get away from 2 Duke gunners and got loose up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Still going to be bad field position for Clemson here. Stuck inside their own 10-yard line, 1st and 10 after yet another commercial break. Let's see. The Woods east of Athens says, I just learned that there's been an award for best long snapper in the country since 2019. That's just funny to me. Yeah, they got awards for everything nowadays, don't they? Best assistant coach, best offensive line. You got the Ray Guy kicking awards, long snapper awards. They've got walk-on awards, like best walk-ons or whatever. All kinds of awards. Clemson misses DJ Ukulele. DJ Ukulele looked good this past weekend. Completed 80% of his passes and scored 5 touchdowns for Oregon State. This is a sloppy game, but it's supposed to be. Well, it's not supposed to be sloppy, is it? Georgia has never had a generational QB. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. We had one 4 years ago. We had one in 2018? Yeah. We had one in 2018. Georgia had a generational QB in 2018. FSU going to roll right into the playoffs, says Luigi Green. Well, we'll see. Always scary picking playoff teams after one game. Ever heard of Matt Stafford? Won a Super Bowl as well. Yeah, Matt Stafford was a much better NFL quarterback, though, than he was college quarterback. They put DJ back together again after the Georgia defense broke him. I was talking about Justin Fields. LSU might just be that bad, says Jack Lynch. Justin Fields is a project in the NFL. We're not talking about NFL. We're talking about generational talents at quarterback in college. The fool thinks they know the college football teams after one game. Muffin says, Uncle Lou, did you see Butch Jones legitimately almost in tears after losing 73-0 to Oklahoma? No, I didn't. I didn't see that. Knoxville Predator says, Georgia never had a generational QB, ? Stetson was literally there for a generation. Yeah. Felt like it, didn't it? Felt like it. Nick Koenig says, feels like even more commercials than before. Maybe. I don't know. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for Clemson following that punt on their own 8-yard line. Handoff, nowhere to go. Does fall forward for a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 from the 10. RR says, quit whining. You know y'all would love a woke up on time for once award. Just give everybody an award, right? Just give everybody an award. 2nd and 8 for Clemson. Klubnik in a shotgun. Back to throw this time. Looks to his right. Now over the middle. Throws complete up to the 20-yard line. Needed 8. Picked up 10. 1st and 10 now on the 20 for Clemson. Dalton from T-Town. What's up, buddy? He says number 5 for Duke needs to have his FanDuel account investigated. He's that same receiver that had those 2 big receptions for Clemson earlier in the game, but that was boneheaded what he did on that punt there. 1st and 10 for the Taters. Back to throw. Klubnik swing pass out to Moffitt in the flat. Up the sideline, past the 30 to the 31, 32. I think that's Moffitt. Who is that number 7 for Clemson? It's not Will Shipley. Is that Moffitt? I think that's Moffitt. I think that's the RB2 for Clemson. Moffitt caught that swing pass. I believe that's him. Another first down for Clemson, all the way up to the 33-yard line now. So drive started inside their own 5 up to the 33 now, 1st and 10. Handoff to Moffitt this time. Drags the Duke player forward for about 4 yards, I guess. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Rub the Rock, what's up, buddy? Says, Lou, I'm not sold on Riley yet. Play calls look like Streeter is still there. Receivers can't separate and O-line can't sustain blocks. Well, that's not on Riley, that part. I mean, the two biggest question marks about Clemson are their wide receivers and their O-line. Neither were any good last year. And I still don't think Clemson's got an elite playmaking wide receiver like they're used to having, like the Sammy Watkins or players like that they had for all those years. They don't have that, in my opinion. And I think their offensive line's below average. 2nd and 5. They pick up 2 or 3 on the ground. It's going to be 3rd and short just across the 40-yard line coming up for Clemson. They need to get to about the 43 or 44 for a first down. AD, thank you for the super chat. Was Fran Tarkenton a Georgia quarterback? Yes, he was. Way back when. 3rd and call it 3 coming up for Clemson. 4:38 to go in the second quarter. 3rd down for Clemson on their own 40. They need to get to the 43. Klubnik in a shotgun. Back to throw. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. Caught on an out route and picks up the first down out to the 45. Needed 3, picked up 5. There's that number 0 again. He might be the best and only weapon Clemson has at wide receiver. It seems like every single time a wide receiver catches a ball for Clemson, it's that number 0. Seth Wessinger, thank you for the super chat. Would you still pick South Carolina to go 8-4 after what you saw Saturday? You can't change preseason predictions once the season starts. That's not how things work. The preseason prediction is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it now. I had South Carolina 8-4 with a loss to North Carolina. So, I mean, I can't change preseason predictions once the season starts. It's no longer a preseason prediction at that point. 2nd and 9. Clemson 7, Duke 6. So we have 2 good players now, says Huffer Billy Paul. Yeah. Will Shipley and that wide receiver Williams or whatever it is, number 0. Somebody needs to snatch a knot in his ass about punt returns, but yeah, he's a good wide receiver. 2nd and 9. Play action pass. Under pressure. Sacked for a big loss. All the way back to the 34-yard line. Wow. You could tell right... let me tell you something about Cade Klubnik right now, Clemson, man. And this goes to every defensive coordinator in the country that's watching that's watching Uncle Lou right now, which I'm pretty sure every defensive coordinator in the country, except for the 2 involved in this game, are watching me right now. Pressure Cade Klubnik, and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. Get pressure on Cade Klubnik. He's more nervous than a whore in church. He just folded up like a $2 lawn chair that you'd buy used at Big Lots or something, because a couple of Duke players got with him 3 yards of him. Did you see how nervous he looked on that play as soon as the pocket started to collapse? He's very nervous and unsure in the pocket when protection starts to break down. That is the key to disrupting Cade Klubnik. Get pressure on him. He doesn't know how to act. Would you still... Oh, I read that already. Okay. Put in the 5th-year senior, the not top sure sophomore. Does Klubnik do the happy feet thing? No, it's almost, he kind of froze. Like, he got the snap, and right away the protection broke down, and he kind of just, he like hunched down and then just kind of like waited. He didn't even really move. Like, he didn't even really try to escape. It's like he was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to get sacked, and he just kind of went like that. It was kind of weird looking. Wonder what Klubnik would look like behind the South Carolina line. Probably not much different than what he looks like here. Clemson's offensive line is garbage. Matador Mike says, my Texas Tech Raiders still dropping passes against Wyoming and extended Wyoming drives in the red zone because of stupid penalties. Oregon up next, shaking my head. Yeah, Texas Tech made me look pretty stupid, too. I thought they were going to be really good this year. Turns out they can't even beat Wyoming. That's bad, man. That's a bad sign. And then you got a red-hot Oregon coming in that just scored 270 points. Or however many they scored this past weekend. It feels like Oregon's going to come in and absolutely light y'all up. But I don't know. We'll see. A lot of times you see teams make a lot of improvement from week 1 to 2. So, I mean, we'll have to watch it and see. But Texas Tech did not look good at all. and Oregon looked really, really good. And I was high on Texas Tech, so it doesn't give me any satisfaction to be saying that now. Now, I did pick Texas Tech to lose to Oregon, even when I was high on Texas Tech in the preseason. I still thought they would lose to Oregon, but it appears now that they've got just no chance against Oregon. Clemson might lose to Notre Dame and North Carolina, says James C. Yeah, you're leaving out Florida State, too, I think, because they play Florida State in 3 weeks. They play Florida State in week 4. Duke, please win so Clemson fans can shut up, says Seth Wessinger. Jaden Tuggle says we got our quarterback now. Who? Who are you talking about? Who is we? Riley Leonard is overrated, says Char. Are you sure? Well, then what is Cade Klubnik then? If Riley Leonard is overrated, then what is Cade Klubnik? Uncle Lou, Clemson O-line can't guard a casket lying in state. God dang. Yeah, if that's true, that's bad. Yo, why was he timed out? I didn't time anybody out. I didn't see anybody get timed out either. I didn't see anybody get timed out. The Longhorns are playing Wyoming soon. What do you think about that game now? Texas will destroy Wyoming. I don't know whether I like watching the Dogs win or Clemson lose more. It's so hard to pick. Well, week 1 next year, you get to watch both at the same time. Because Georgia and Clemson play in week 1 next year in Atlanta. So you get to see both at the same time. You get to see Georgia win and Duke lose at the exact same time. Free play for Clemson. Duke was offsides. Klubnik scrambling. Throws. Intercepted, but it's not going to count. Oh, my God. Now, this isn't going to count because Duke was offsides, but holy shit. If you're a Clemson fan and you've been waiting 8 months, Clemson fans been waiting 8 months to see the greatest show on earth with Cade Klubnik and Garrett Riley's offense, and this is the shit sandwich they've been served. Wow. How mad are you if you're a Clemson man? You got to be beside yourself. You got to be irate. You got to be just drooling mad at this point if you're a Clemson fan. That this is the offense you've been waiting 8-9 months to see. The amazing Garrett Riley and Cade Klubnik combination that can't be beat. Wow. Unbelievable. This is bad. Better call up DJ Ukulele and apologize to him, too. A lot of you Clemson mans owe DJ Ukulele an apology. Hey, guys, I told you Cade saw a ghost. The sports expert says Clemson ruined DJ 1,000%. They speed the game up so we can watch more commercials. 3rd and 19 coming up for Clemson. Third and 19. 3rd and 19. I guess that's better than 3rd and 24, though, after that ridiculous sack. 3rd and 19. 3rd and 19 for the Taters. Seems like a draw play to me. Let's see. Cade Klubnik looking over to the sideline. Now he's got his permission slip signed and he's ready to go. Snap. Hand off to Will Shipley right up the middle. Yeah. Give up play on 3rd and 19. Clemson will be punting on about 4th and 10. Thoughts on OU? Nobody team, but a shutout still. It doesn't really matter who you play in the world of college football. If you watch a football team play, you can generally tell whether they're good or bad. Now, how good or how bad, that's what's more difficult to determine based on the competition. But you can clearly tell if a team looks good or looks bad. It doesn't matter who they're playing. And you can tell if a team looks better or worse than they looked the previous year. Oklahoma clearly looks much improved offensively and defensively over what we saw last year, regardless of who they played. 4th and 12. Kick is away. Fair catch called this time and made at the 16-yard line. So 2-minute drill time for Duke. 1:47 to go in the second quarter. Clemson 7, Duke 6. Clemson has done absolutely nothing on offense for the entire game. If you joined in late, the only touchdown they scored is a result of a fumbled punt return by Duke that Clemson recovered at the Duke 18-yard line. So it was an 18-yard touchdown drive. Other than that, Clemson has done absolutely nothing except nearly throw interceptions on every other play and get a field goal blocked. Knoxville, thank you again for the super chat. He says, I'll be surprised if Tennessee beats Georgia, but do they have a better shot this year than last year? Well, I think generally speaking, they have a better shot because it's at home as opposed to on the road. As far as how good each team is compared to last year, we probably need to watch each team play a few more games before we draw any conclusions about that. Tennessee, I think, defensively looked a little bit better than last year. Their ground game looked really good. And no matter what they do offensively, Joe Milton, if he lives to be 1,000,000 years old, will never be as good as Hendon Hooker. That's just a fact and a reality of life. Duke with a nice play on a swing pass up across the 40 to around the 45-yard line. So a big first down for Duke. That's the best offensive play Duke has had in their last 3 or 4 possessions. 1st and 10 for Duke with 1:21 to go. They're going to try to at least get into field goal range here, I would assume, and try to take the lead heading into halftime. They still have 2 timeouts remaining and 1:21. And they get the ball to start the second half. So this could be huge if they can score on this drive. Riley Leonard back to throw over the head of the intended receiver, who was covered pretty well on the play. Incomplete pass, stops the clock with 1:17 to go. 2nd and 10 coming up for Duke now. Carson Cude said Milton is better than Hooker. Uh-oh.
5-star dummy.
Yeah, you'd have to be an absolute idiot to believe that. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you are. Anybody that thinks Joe Milton's better than Hendon Hooker is an absolute idiot. 2nd and 10. Riley Leonard back to throw. Complete. Short, but has some room. Makes a man miss. Dives forward towards the first down. I think he's going to be a yard short. 3rd and less than a yard coming up for Duke. Clock keeps running because he didn't pick up the first down. 1 minute to go. 3rd and 1. Big play here. Snap. Back to throw. Leonard looks, throws. Complete. Inside the 40 to the 39. Picks up a first down. Clock will stop while they get the chains moved. 54 seconds to go. Duke needs about 15 or 20 more yards for a comfortable field goal. Snap. Leonard back to throw. Looks. Throws over the head of the intended receiver. Pretty sure he was just throwing that one away. 2nd and 10 now with 44 seconds to go. Meet at the Paul Lou? Can't. This game's in Duke. They only do that at home games at Clemson when they celebrate losses. Clemson rushes the field after every home loss. I don't know how many of y'all are aware of that, but I'm not trolling. It's 100% true. Clemson fans rush the field after every single home loss. 2nd and 10 for Duke. Riley Leonard shotgun, snap, back to throw. Looking, throws, complete. 5-yard curl. Can't get past the defender, though. Drags him forward for a couple more yards. Ends up picking up about 8 on the play. 3rd and 2. 37 seconds to go. I believe Duke called another timeout. They did. Duke uses their 2nd timeout now. So with 37 seconds to go, the clock is stopped with a Duke timeout. It's going to be 3rd and 2. They trail by 1, 7-6. Trying to get into field goal range here to take the lead heading into half. And Duke will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So that's big. Duke has an opportunity to end the first half with points and then get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. That would be huge for Duke. Clemson drops to 12 or 15 this season. That's about where they were at last year. Clemson is the same team from 2021 and 2022, says Warm Biscuit. X-Wing says LSU is losing 2 more games, and Lou had Bama losing to them. Yeah. Yep. I didn't time you out. Some soft PO. Who got timed out? I never saw anybody get timed out. Who got timed out? I don't see where anybody got timed out. Stop crying about timing people out. 3rd and 2. Leonard in a shotgun. Referee stops. Going to be false start again. Another false start on Duke. That's their 3rd or 4th false start. Wow. That's a bad penalty to catch here because you're trying to get into field goal range here in the last 37 seconds of the half, and every yard matters. Instead of 3rd and 2, you're looking at 3rd and 7 now. Boy, that's a bad penalty to take coming off of a timeout if you're Duke. A bad penalty to take coming off a timeout if you're Duke. LSU always plays Bama tough. Don't count them out, says Panthro. 3rd and 7. Riley Leonard back to throw. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Wow. And they can't kick a field goal from here. I don't think they can kick a field goal from here. Boy, that penalty was huge. Wow. Wow, that ends up being a huge penalty, that false start. 4th and 7. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to go for it on their own 36-yard line. If they were on the 31, they'd probably kick a field goal. Back to throw. Riley Leonard looking, gets rid of it. Caught for a first down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. The clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains, but they're definitely in field goal range now. They still have a timeout they can use to try to run the field goal unit out on the team at the end of the half, but 24 seconds to go, and they spiked the ball. They spiked the ball to stop the clock. It's going to be 2nd and 10 with 24 seconds to go. So they still have time. Run pretty much whatever play they want. They've got that timeout that they can always use to stop the clock to get the field goal unit out there. Let's see how aggressive they get here or if they just try to position themselves for a field goal. But it's going to be 2nd and 10, 22 seconds to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. Riley Leonard is in a shotgun. Referee's got his hand up telling him to wait. Now we're good, he says. You can play ball. Snap, back to throw. Scrambles out to his right. Can't take a sack here. Decides to throw it away. Yeah, the worst thing you can do here is take a sack and knock yourself back out of field goal range again. 3rd and 10 coming up now. This is where I think it helps to have a veteran QB with a lot of experience. You can kind of count on him to do the right thing here. You know, worst, he knows he can't take a sack there, so he just throws the ball away. 3rd and 10 now for Duke. 17 seconds to go. Definitely within field goal range now, though, with the ball at the 26. Just can't have a negative play here. 3rd and 10. Snap. They're going to hand it off. He fumbled. Clemson got it. Wow. Duke's going to lose this game. You can't make these kind of mistakes and pull off an upset. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is a 10-point swing here because of Duke turnovers. 10 points. The 7 points that Clemson has is a direct result of a Duke turnover. And now they have cost themselves 3 points with this turnover. That's a 10-point swing there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You're just not going to pull off the upset this way. And you can't help but feel bad for Duke unless you're a Clemson fan, of course. But because they're playing so well. I mean, other than those 2 turnovers, they 100% deserve to be winning this game, but you just can't pull off big upsets like this, no matter how well you play with multiple turnovers. You just can't. Running play by Clemson, just looking to get to halftime here. All the way up close to midfield, and Clemson now has called a timeout. So I don't know if they're going to like take a shot into the end zone here or what they might try to do here. They're going to attempt a 68-yard field goal. They're fixing to try a 68-yard field goal. Here we go. They got a strong-legged kicker. I know that. I've read about him, heard about him. Are they going to run him out there or what? Or maybe not. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, no, no. No 68-yard field goal attempt. No 68-yard field goal attempt. 4 wide. Klubnik in a shotgun from the 50-yard line. So I don't know if we're going to see like a Hail Mary type of deal here or what. Throw. Caught. And tackled right away. That's going to be the end of the half. So, your first half score, Clemson 7, Duke 6. Got to be frustrating if you're a Duke fan. You should be up at least 9-0. You could be up as much as 17-0. Clemson's only touchdown, a direct result of a Duke turnover. And then a second Duke turnover just a minute ago cost them 3 points. So if you convert a couple of those field goals into touchdowns, you're looking at 14 instead of 6. If you don't turn the punt over, Clemson never scores, you're 14-0. If you don't turn it over the second time and you kick the field goal, you're 17-0 up at halftime over Clemson and feeling pretty good. Instead, you dominated the first half and you go to the locker room losing by 1. And again, directly because of turnovers. I mean, Duke's got nobody to blame here but themselves. You just cannot pull off these upsets like this, turning the ball over. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. So you almost feel bad for the Duke fans, but they just don't turn the ball over, and you're beating Clemson right now. It's that simple. All right, everybody. I'm going to take about a 10-minute break during halftime. I'm not going to end the stream. I'll keep the stream going, and I will be back by the start of the third quarter. All right, so y'all hang in there, and I'll see y'all in 5-10 minutes. It just depends how long halftime lasts. Loading. You say you want Georgia, you're a Florida State fan. You got to be good enough to make the playoffs if you want Georgia, buddy. You think Georgia's a dynasty? Cool. Yeah, one way to find out. Get good enough to make the playoffs. Then we can find out. How much longer till the game comes back on? That's not up to me. That's up to the people running the game. Whenever halftime's over, that's when the game will come back on. No, lady, how about you shut the up? I'm doing Bluetooth, bitch. All right, second half is set to get underway here at Duke. Duke will get the ball first. They trail 7-6. They absolutely dominated the first half of this game. But inability to score touchdowns in the red zone, having to settle for 2 field goals, and turnovers, two costly turnovers, have cost Duke. They could easily be winning this game 17-0. Instead, they trail 7-6. Here's the kick. It's going to go into the back of the end zone for a touchback. Duke will start 1st and 10 on their own 25. Knoxville, thank you for the super chat. I think this might have been at the end of the third quarter and I missed it. He says, I'll be surprised if Tennessee beats Georgia, but they do have a better shot this year than last year. Well, I think it's in Tennessee. When you look at the game before any games are played, yes, because the game's in Tennessee instead of in Athens. We'll see how good those two teams look in November, 2 months from now when they get ready to play, as far as whether or not they might have a better shot to win. But it's an obvious advantage to play at home versus having to play on the road. 1st and 10 for Duke. Riley Leonard back to throw on 1st down, looking, nowhere to go. Now he's going to take off running, runs around a man, picks up a 1st down, and ducks out of bounds after a gain of about 14. Good coverage in the secondary, nowhere to go with the ball. But nobody to account for the QB. He scrambles and picks up 14. 1st and 10 for Duke, up near the 40-yard line. It's going to be like Bama versus Tennessee last year? No. You think Tennessee is going to score 49 points on Georgia? You're out of your mind. 1st and 10. From the 39, Leonard in the shotgun, man in motion. Snap. Hands it off this time, dancing in the backfield. Gets loose up near midfield and picks up another 1st down. Looked like he might have been bottled up around the line of scrimmage. Very patient run that time. Just waited on the hold open, and when he did, he exploded through it. Picks up 10 yards, 1st and 10 Duke. Back-to-back 1st downs up near midfield. Leonard throws complete over the middle. Picks up about 7. 2nd and 3 now into Clemson territory. This looks a lot more like the first couple of drives Duke had in the first half. Clemson going to be in the Your Season is Over video. I am doing another Your Season is Over video tomorrow for the Sunday and Monday games. It won't be nearly as long as the Sunday video, but it's just a few games to talk about. But I will have a part 2 of the Your Season is Over video tomorrow. 2nd and 3, nowhere to go this time on the ground. Falls forward for about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Excited for this Saturday, Bama versus Texas. Yeah, should be a good one. Should be a good one. 3rd and 3 coming up for Duke. Let's see if they can keep the drive alive. First possession of the second half. They're down 7-6. Duke only 2 of 8 on 3rd down so far today. Riley Leonard's in a shotgun here on 3rd and 3. Running back motions out. It's a quarterback keep. Nowhere to go. Oh, he got loose. There he goes. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Oh, my God. Holy fucking shit. Oh, a 50-yard touchdown run. Should have been a 4 or 5 yard loss. Holy moly. You're going to see that on SportsCenter. Holy shit. Oh my God. How do they not get him here? Look at that. Runs out of a tackle 3 yards deep and then runs right by a cornerback. Another piss poor tackle. Wow. Unbelievable play by Riley Leonard, the quarterback for Duke. Oh my God. An unbelievable play. An unbelievable play. Wow. Wow. Duke's lined up for the extra point. I thought maybe they would go for 2 to try to make it 14-7, but it looks like they're just going to kick the 1. and try to go up 6 points here. Unbelievable play by Duke quarterback Riley Leonard. For those of you who aren't watching, a big defensive tackle had him wrapped up in the backfield for a 3-yard loss, and somehow he ran out of the tackle, was untouched for about 30 yards downfield. They're looking to see if he stepped out of bounds. Doesn't look like he did. I think that's going to be a touchdown. There was a defensive back that had a chance to make the tackle around the 15-yard line, and he just whiffed. Just a piss-poor tackling attempt, really. He just whiffed. Dabo is losing his mind. Touchdown stands. He did stay in bounds. Here comes the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is good. And Duke retakes the lead early in the third quarter, 13-7. Just an unbelievable effort to escape a sack in the backfield. But look at this. Just how he doesn't get tackled and keeps his balance. And then this number 2 ought to have his scholarship revoked. Whoever that number 2 is for Clemson ought to have his scholarship revoked immediately. That's just a piss-poor effort in tackling downfield there. Brock Tony, thank you for the super chat. He says, Clemson's defense out here tackling like Lincoln Riley's defense. Well, who's the offensive coordinator for Clemson? Oh, yeah, Lincoln Riley's brother, Garrett Riley. Wow, unbelievable. Nick Koenig says, Lincoln Riley syndrome affects family members, too. It's contagious. It's contagious. Time I 845. Thank you for the super chat. He says Leonard is what Clemson wishes Klubnik would be. Yeah. Riley Leonard is the best quarterback in this game. There's no debate about that. There's no question. No, it's not even up for debate. Riley Leonard is a much better quarterback right now than Cade Klubnik is. Now, Riley's been around a while. Maybe by the end of his career, we look back and say Klubnik ended up being better. But right now, at this point in their careers, Riley Leonard is clearly the best quarterback in this game. Whatever happened to Clemson Tom, I have no idea. No idea. Leonard is a great athlete. Slam dunk they showed was fire. Yeah, I saw that earlier from where he was playing basketball. I saw that earlier. Pate picked Clemson to win by 24. Wow, what a dummy. What a dummy Josh Pate is. The Uncle Lou, something interesting. Texas State has 51 transfers, second only to Colorado, and both teams got massive wins as 20 to 30 point underdogs. I wonder if more coaches will try that strategy. No, they won't. No, they won't. They won't. Recruiting is still the best way to build a college football program. Do you think Colorado is near Minnesota's level? What? The Golden Gophers? Colorado would beat Minnesota. I would pick Colorado over Minnesota. Minnesota's not anything, are they? They have no offense at all. How much importance should be placed on the Bama-Texas game? What do you mean? I'm not real sure what you mean. I mean, it's one of the top 2 or 3 non-conference games of the year. It can't really be much more important than that. Are you talking about like playoff implications or whatever? I mean, either one of those teams are going to get in the playoffs with 1 or less losses, so it's not an elimination game for either team. This new clock rule has games flying by. Clemson might get heat here. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't noticed much difference in the clock rules. I mean, teams are still putting up 40, 50, 60, 70 points, 500, 600 yards of offense. I haven't really noticed any difference. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says, Woo, has anyone told the Taters they make more money? How is Duke winning? Duke should be up 24-0 right now. Or, well, they should be up 20... Let's see, 6, 14 minus 6, 8. Yeah, they should be up about 24-0 right now. They really should be up 24-0. Clemson's only touchdown came because of a fumbled Duke punt return where Clemson got the ball on the Duke 18-yard line. So they had an 18-yard touchdown drive. That's the only points they have. Duke easily could have had another field goal at the end of the half had they not fumbled. And then if they convert a couple of those field goals into touchdowns, I mean, they could be up 20 to nothing, 24 to nothing. I mean, Duke has dominated this game. Will Shipley on the ground off right tackle. Nice run. Up across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, picks up a first down, gains 11 on first down. Good-looking run there for Clemson. The Will Shipley show continues. Clemson, a one-man band. It's Will Shipley and a bunch of ne'er-do-wells offensively for Clemson. 1st and 10 on the 35. Maffa this time, the second running back. Huge hole up the gut, 50, 40, 35, 30. Tackled from behind. Inside the 15-yard line, 2 huge back-to-back runs for Clemson. Will Shipley picks up 11 yards on first down. Then Maffa picks up 40 yards on the ground. Down inside the 15, right up the gut. A huge run that time. Huge run for the Taters, and they're in business now in the red zone. First and 10 on the 16. Maffa again, same play. Picks up about 5 yards this time, 6 yards it looks like, down to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 4 coming up for Clemson. Literally the exact same play. Exact same play. Second and 4. 11 and a half minutes to go in the third. Cade Klubnik keeps. Down at the 1. Picks up a first down, though. It's going to be 1st and goal on the 1. Cade Klubnik kept that time on the zone read. 1st and goal on the 1. Clemson hurries up to the line. Clemson running that 2-back set now. Shipley jumps off sides. That's going to back Clemson up 5 yards. False start on Will Shipley, looked like. Yeah. Clemson has changed it up here offensively. They're going with a 2-back set now, and less of the spread. It's been a 2-back set with Will Shipley and Maffa flanked, one on either side of Klubnik. He lines up in a shotgun. This entire drive, it's been a 2-back set, and that appears to be working. The ground game working now for Clemson. Playing big boy football. 1st and goal now from the 6 after that false start penalty. Back to the one running back look. Klubnik keeps again, stumbles and falls for a loss of 6 yards. I mean, there was a guy chasing him, but no one touched him. He just stumbled and fell at the 12-yard line. Yeah, C- is right. C- is right. The grass monster tackled him. The grass monster got him that time. All right, 2nd and goal now from the 11. Shotgun, Klubnik. Going to throw this time. Looks, under pressure again. Throws. Incomplete. 3rd and goal now from the 11. Dan Davis says we need 2K watching. Yeah, share the stream out. See if we can get 2K people in here. Got almost 1,100 in here now. Only 647 likes, though. Hey, we got a great game going on. Y'all hit the thumbs up. 800 likes. Let's get it to 800 likes. We can do that. We can get it to 800. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. It's the easiest thing you can do to help support the stream here today. Takes no effort at all. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. What a hell of a game we got going on here. Klubnik on 3rd and goal. Quarterback draw. To the 5. Stacked up and dropped. It's going to be 4th and goal for the Taters from the 5-yard line, and Klubnik is slow to get up. He took a big hit at the 5-yard line, and he is slow to get up. A couple of offensive linemen helped pull him to his feet. 4th and goal for the Taters, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal here. Play calling goofy for the Taters, says Donovan O'Mara. Goofy? FSU is going to donkey stomp Clemson, LMFAO. 4th and goal for Clemson. This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt. Snap, hold, kick, no good. I think it might have been blocked again. It was blocked again. That is 2 field goal blocks in this game by the Duke special teams unit. So with 9:01 to go, your score remains Duke 13, Clemson 7. That is the second blocked kick of the game by Duke. This one wasn't a full-on stuff block like the first one was, but they got enough of it. And the ball just kind of petered into the end zone and rolled out. Taterman is in shambles, says the sports expert. Yep, offense is absolute doo-doo. Offensive line not very good. Wide receivers not very good. Secondary not very good. Quarterback not very good. Pretty much everything you had a question mark about with Clemson heading into this season so far is a fail. There was huge question marks around Clemson's offensive line, huge question marks around the wide receiver room, huge question marks with a secondary that was 96th against the pass last year. And honestly, anybody with any sense should have had questions about Cade Klubnik. Somebody's going to have to sit me down and explain to me like I'm 3 years old how in the fuck Cade Klubnik had the fourth best odds in the country for the Heisman Trophy heading into the season. The guy's done absolutely nothing. He started against Tennessee in a bowl game, one of the worst defenses in the country last year, and only managed 13 points in a blowout loss. Over the course of his career, he's got more interceptions than he does touchdowns, and he had a lower completion percentage than DJ Ukulele, the quarterback they ran out of town because of Klubnik. So the idea that Klubnik was just going to step in and be some amazing Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence type of Heisman caliber QB, I never understood it to start with. And as it turns out, the guy's not very good. The guy's not very good. Clemson is not even the second best team in the ACC, says James C. 852 likes. Good job. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. That really does help. That really does help me out. So I appreciate y'all doing that. I really do. Dalton from T-Town, he's been hitting 70-yarders in practice. Well, in practice, you don't have the Duke special teams unit attempting to block your kick, do you? Thank you, Dalton. Shane Cup, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, what would it take to start the Fire Dabo campaign? They're not, Dabo's nowhere near getting fired, in my opinion. Red and Black Dog, thank you for the super chat. Taterman, play football like a garbage can. Bean Supreme, thank you for the super chat. He says, teams using the portal this year looking good like the last guy said. I wonder why Clemson isn't looking good right now. I don't know. I don't know. How do they have Clemson in the top 10? What a joke. Well, I never had Clemson in my top 10. My top 10 heading into the season, my preseason top 10 was Georgia, Michigan, LSU. Now, that was a giant fail on my part. I had LSU at 3, so I got to, eat crow on that. I had Penn State at 4. They looked amazing. I had Penn State at 5. They got issues. Ohio State's got, how the fuck do you have 19 NFL wide receivers and you can't throw one touchdown pass against Indiana? Ohio State's got issues, but I had them at 5. I had Bama at 6, Southern Cal at 7, Florida State at 8, Washington at 9, Texas at 10. That was my top 10 heading into the season. All right, 2nd and 10 for Duke. We missed the first down play. 2nd and 10, throw, complete. Short gain, though, might have gained 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and long for Duke now following the blocked field goal by Clemson. Dwayne Davis says, Texas has sucked since 2010, so this game of the decade next week is just Klubnik winning Heisman-level delusion. I don't know about that. It was one of the best games of the year last year, Bama and Texas. Texas damn near pulled it off. 3rd and 7. Duke in a shotgun. Trying to keep the drive alive on their own 23. Leonard back to throw. Goes deep. Off the receiver's hand and incomplete. Some miscommunication there on the route, I believe. Somebody was off. Either the quarterback or the wide receiver was off on that one. Clemson's defense with a nice series there forces a punt here. 3 and out. 4th and 7 for Duke. They'll be punting from inside their own 10-yard line. Clemson has Bama's offense from last year just without the generational QB. Oh, that's bad news if that's true. Thank you, Sharkled. 4th and 7. Punt is away. It's going to be fielded at the 28-yard line. Fair catch called and made by Williams. Clemson will take over right there on their 27, 28-yard line. 1st and 10. They're down 13-7. No QB or good receiver, says Jack Lynch. Yeah, Clemson's had a wide receiver issue for a few years now. A few years. Jared Martin says, I said it last year, Cade is worse than DJ. People thought I was crazy. He should have lit Tennessee up. Yeah. I agree with you there. Belinda says, if Dabo loses, the faithful will start wanting his head next. Don't let Dion be available. Yeah, that's not happening. Was Streeter really the problem, says Greg Brown. I do think Streeter was a part of the problem. I do agree with getting rid of Brandon Streeter. I don't think he deserved the job to start with, and I don't think he did a very good job last year. So I agree with getting rid of Brandon Streeter for Clemson. The Uncle Lou better call Pete and talk him off the ledge. Number 5 on Duke needs to take a rain check. Pete acted like it was absolutely insane that anybody thought Duke could even hang close with Clemson, never mind beat them. That was kind of weird. If Texas defense holds and they have a good QB play, they will win, says Josh Johnson. I think he's talking about the Texas-Bama game. Lou, does Colorado win 8+? No. Robbie the Jet says, Uncle Lou way overhyped Jeff Sims. He's a dumpster can. I didn't overhype Jeff Sims at all. I didn't overhype Jeff Sims. Has anyone heard from Hufferbilly? He needs a friend right now. Oh, no. That's terrible. Anyway, hey, if there's anybody new, make sure you subscribe. I post college football videos year-round. This isn't just something I do during the season. I do this year-round. We've got live streams all the time. I do a call-in show every Tuesday and Thursday night. Again, all this is year-round. We talk college football 365 days a year here. So if for some reason you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends to subscribe, too. They'll thank you for it later. I promise you. I'm just a college football idiot. I go nuts about college football. Always have. Always have. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and watching the game today. We're going to do this again, I think Friday night will be the next game stream. I'm interested in the Illinois-Kansas game. That comes on Friday night. Illinois was a surprisingly good team last year. They were even ranked, I think, in the top 15 at one point. Came undone a little bit towards the end of the year. Same with Kansas. Remember, they started out 5-0 or whatever. But I think both of those teams, if they can stay healthy, could have good years this year. They play Friday night, Kansas and Illinois. So we're going to do a game stream Friday night for that game. So if you have no life like me and you just sit around waiting on college football games all the time, and you're at home with nothing better to do on a Friday night like me, then come hang out with me this Friday and we'll watch the Kansas-Illinois game together. It should be a good one. And then Saturday mornings, every Saturday morning during the season, I do a live show at 9 a.m., kind of a college kickoff show. We talk about all the day's games. We look at the TV schedule, figure out what's coming on, what channel, all that kind of stuff. We have a good time. And then I always stream games on Saturday too, of course. First down pass for Clemson picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Second and about 4 coming up for Clemson. I'm not sure yet what times my game streams on Saturday will be. I usually stream during 2 time slots on Saturday. So like I'll do the noon games and the primetime games, or the noon games and the 3:30 games, or the 3:30 games and the primetime games. It kind of just depends on the TV schedule for the day. I have a Patreon page, and they vote every week on what time slot they want me to stream, and I do that on the Patreon page. And then on some Saturdays, I pick a second time slot and stream right here on YouTube. So just stay tuned to the channel over the course of the week. I'll let you know when I decide which of those games I'll be streaming on Saturday. Will Shipley with a first down run up close to midfield. Picks up about 9. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Clemson driving again here in the third quarter. Hitch pass complete across midfield for a first down inside the 45 to the 44. Into Duke territory now. Another first down for Clemson. 7 minutes to go in the third. Duke still up 13-7. Four wide receivers, it looks like this time for Clemson. Will Shipley in the game at running back, standing right next to Cade Klubnik, who's in a shotgun. 1st and 10. Here we go. Snap. Gonna hand it to Shipley this time. Huge hole. Huge hole. First down, 30, 29, 28, down to the 27-yard line. 20-yard gain on the ground that time for Will Shipley. Big, huge hole right up the gut. Clemson doing damage in the third quarter on the ground. They've got to be well over 100 yards rushing just in the third quarter. And we're halfway through the third quarter. They got to be over 100 yards rushing just in the third quarter alone. A Duke player is down on the play. Hopefully he's okay. They're out looking at him now. 6:21 to go in the third. Clemson's going to have the ball 1st and 10. Down on the Duke 26, 27-yard line once we get back to play. Big Orange Nate, I guess that is, says Primetime Sanders is Bama's next head coach. Yeah, that's fake news. The sports expert, thank you for the super chat, says Kyle McCord, the next Steve Balisari. I don't know who Steve Balisari is, but I'm assuming that's some terrible quarterback. Spread them out with trips. Only one linebacker to run past, says Tactical Matt Foley. Daniel Rivera says Florida is looking for a new coach. Next year they will be. Josh Johnson says if Clemson plays us like that, we will beat their ass in Death Valley. Go Noles. Adam the Sports Guy says Colorado can't win 7 games this season. Camel Low says Clemson doesn't have wide receivers or QB to win the ACC. They definitely look bad today, that's for sure. I'm impressed that there are around 1,200 people here right now. You do really good at what you do, Uncle Lou, says Andy Summers. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate the kind words, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. 1st and 10, 6:15 to go in the third. Clemson's got the ball on the Duke 28. Klubnik in a shotgun, back to throw on first down, looking downfield, throws, caught, wide open inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Probably the best downfield passing play of the day for Cade Klubnik. That was a good-looking throw. He threw that thing on a rope. I mean, a laser beam. Caught by the wide receiver. 1st and goal, Clemson now on the 7. They're down 6. 1st and goal from the 7. Shotgun again. Will Shipley standing next to Klubnik. Snap. Hands it off. Fumble! Who got it? Did Duke get it? Duke says they got it. Miscommunication on the handoff between Klubnik and Shipley. Ball hit the ground. One Duke player tried to pick it up on the run and dropped it again. And now there's a scrum. Let's see who comes out with it. Duke saying they have it. Student section going ham. And Duke has the ball. So Duke gets one back. Duke, of course, has committed 2 absolutely back-breaking turnovers of their own in this game. Clemson returns the favor. Miscommunication there. Klubnik thought Shipley was taking the ball. Shipley thought Klubnik was keeping the ball. Neither one of them ended up with the ball. Squirts around on the ground. Duke comes up with it. Huge turnover at the worst possible time for the Tater Man there. And Duke gets one of their 2 turnovers back here midway through the third, 5:17 to go. Hey, lady. Pigskin Pete's on life support. 1st and 10 for Duke on their own 10. Not a good pass by Riley Leonard that time. Receiver was open and he just missed him. 2nd and 10. Duke needs to find a way to capitalize here. Even if they can't get any points, they need a couple of first downs here and flip field position or something. You don't want to go 3 and out here. If you do, you're going to give Clemson the ball back at midfield again. Riley Leonard hands off, this time off right tackle. Nice run on the ground. Picks up 8 or 9 yards. 3rd and short coming up for Clemson. For Duke. And it feels like Duke really needs a first down here. You don't want to put your defense right back out on the field. And again, if you punt from here, you're going to end up giving Clemson really good field position. You'd love to have points on every drive, but, almost just as important as that, you need to at least pick up 2 or 3 first downs here and try to flip the field position if you do have to punt. 3rd and 2, let's see what they do. Snap, Leonard back to throw. Looks, throws, incomplete. Wow, great coverage. Kind of a dangerous pass into a crowded area of the field over the middle, and Duke's going to go 3 and out. They're going to have to punt it away, and Clemson's going to get great field position again on this punt because Duke's going to be kicking from their own end zone again. Great coverage. You almost want Riley Leonard maybe to just take off there and see if he can't just pick up the 2 yards on the ground. I don't know about that. That seemed like a dangerous throw he made there. Duke punter standing on his own 4-yard line. The kick is away. A terrible punt, shanked it. Got a lucky bounce, though, down to the 40. Clemson will take over on their own 40-yard line. Still really good field position for Clemson following that punt. Duke avoids disaster, though. It looked like Clemson was headed for a touchdown on that last drive before that turnover. Daniel Rivera says, 1998, tight. Yeah, why not? Let's get a hashtag 1998 in the comments section for all our Tennessee friends that are hanging out tonight. Hashtag 1998. Hell, I'll even do it. Hashtag 1998. Let's go. Hashtag 1998. Shout out to all my Vol buddies. Steven Dollaris, thank you for the super chat. He says Clemson and LSU to the Independence Bowl. Wow. 1st and 10 for Clemson on their 40-yard line. Klubnik back to throw. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Caught by Shipley, but he falls down. He's going to lose 2.5 yards on the play. 2nd and 12 coming up for Clemson now. Retro KG, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. He says, the Tater Man struggling against a basketball team. I think they should be fortunate to stay in the ACC until further notice. Yeah, I don't know. Clemson, are you sure you want to get out of the ACC? You sure you want those problems? There's a flag that, oh no, Duke was offsides on that play. Wow, Duke, man. Duke's got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. They are close to pulling off what would be one of their biggest wins in school history. They don't have a whole lot of big football wins. Beating a top 10 Clemson team would be one of their biggest wins in school history. They just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Clemson gets a negative play, but instead of 2nd and 12, it's 1st and 5. They keep it on the ground, pick up 4 yards. Now it's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 49. Yeah, that's bad. Instead of it could have been 2nd and 12. But instead, Duke's offsides. So instead of 2nd and 12, they get 1st and 5. They keep it on the ground, pick up 4 yards. 2nd and 1 now, up near midfield. Under 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Gorilla Mask is here. What's up, buddy? I'll read that in just a second. 2nd and 1, shotgun. Play action pass, throws complete to the 45. Tackled at the 42. Picks up the 1st down, 1st and 10 in Duke territory at the 42. Uncle Lou's official white gorilla mask says, if this keeps going the way it is, I don't know how UTEP is going to win the SEC. What? Leave UTEP alone. Leave UTEP alone. 998 likes. Who wants to give me 2 more and get us to 1,000? Back to throw. Klubnik looking, running backwards. Now scrambles out to his right and has to get rid of it out of bounds. Nowhere to go with the ball. Good decision to throw it away. Don't want to take a big loss there. 2nd and 10 coming up now with 2:39 to go in the 3rd. What do you got there?
A cookie.
Oh. These are peanuts? Hey. I made boiled peanuts the other day. Y'all eat boiled peanut? I love boiled peanuts. Don't I have the best nuts in town?
If I like boiled peanuts, yes.
Yeah, see? I got the best nuts in town. 2nd and 10 for Clemson now on the Duke 42. Pass complete out in the flat to Shipley, and he's got room. Close to the first down marker. He might be a yard short. It's going to be close. Man, these are good. God, these are good. 3rd and 1. Third and 1 for Clemson. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the third. Shotgun, that 2 running back set that they've been using a lot. Hands off to Maffa. Needed 1, got 2. First down, Clemson. Keeps the drive alive. Under 2 minutes to go now in the third. Maffa now 8 carries for 67 yards. Of course, he had that one big one for about 40. 1st and 10 for Clemson now on the Duke 31. Hands off to Maffa again. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but drives forward for 3 or 4 yards, dragging a Duke player with him. Going to be 2nd and 6. Oysters are amazing. Yes, they are. Yes, I might do that. Maybe I'll do that next weekend. I might do some oysters next weekend.
Yeah, do them while I'm not here.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
She don't like the oysters. 2nd and 6. Looks like 4 wide receivers. Klubnik in a shotgun. Maffa standing back there next to him. Snap, back to throw. Over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 6. 55 seconds to go. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. Derek Sanders says Tennessee ruined Clemson. Well, that's pretty bad when Tennessee can ruin you. Oysters are good raw, too. That's the only way I eat them. I eat them raw on a cracker with a little bit of hot sauce. I don't like... I mean, I'll eat steamed oysters, but I don't really like oysters any other way other than raw. 4 wide again. 3rd and 6. Klubnik, shotgun. Back to throw. Looks to his right. Gets rid of it. Complete. Down at the 15. Huge play for Clemson to keep this drive alive. New set of downs coming up. 44 seconds to go in the third. First and 10 on the 15. Handoff to Maffa this time. Has a hole. Down to the 8. It's going to be 3rd and about 3. Is that offsides on Duke again? Wow. Offsides on Duke again. Unreal. 1st and 5 from the 10 now. 1st and 5 from the 10. Shotgun. Maffa in the backfield. Snap. They hand it to Maffa. No, Klubnik keeps. Runs backwards. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and actually ends up picking up about 4 yards. Just short of the first down. Boy, if I was a Clemson fan, I'd be nervous as shit every time Klubnik runs the ball. He ran some kind of giant backwards loop. Somehow he was able to get around the corner, but Jesus, that looked stupid. That just looked like a terrible idea. Overly Paul says he's nervous. You should be, because Duke is a better team than you. So you should be extremely nervous. The only reason Clemson's even in this game is because of 2 Duke turnovers. Oh, otherwise it'd be a blowout. It really should be about 24-0 right now. And this is why watching games is so important, because let's say Duke doesn't score again. And let's say Clemson ends up winning, I don't know, 21-13. It's not going to change my mind about how I feel about Duke or Clemson. Clemson's got some serious issues. I don't care if they come back and win this game. They've got some serious issues, and they're talent issues. So I don't know that it's anything that can be fixed during the season. You know? Billy Cole says, I got Duke to cover. Yeah, I took Duke in the points. Wildhard Rep, thank you for the super chat. He says, this is some ugly football. Yeah. Yeah. HBJ, or HJB, sorry, thank you for the super chat. He says, if Clemson plays any team with more than 3-star talent, they're screwed. I see a lot of plays here where Clemson is bailed out by the lack of speed of Duke defensively. 100% good coaching by Duke, though. Yeah, that last play is a good example. You have to have been watching it to kind of know what I'm talking about, but it was basically a quarterback bootleg, but he ran a loop. At one point, he was 6 or 7 yards back behind the line of scrimmage. I don't understand that. And yeah, he was able to outrun the Duke defenders and get around the corner, but yeah, against more talented teams, that play ends up being a disaster more than likely. Isn't Duke a basketball school? I think most people would consider Duke a basketball school, yeah. Jack Dosev says, I think Arkansas is better than Clemson. Wow. I mean, Clemson's lost 3 games each of the last 2 seasons. It's not like there's some juggernaut. Clemson's been trending this direction for a couple of years. All right, here we go. First play of the fourth quarter coming up is going to be a 2nd and 1 for Clemson from the 6-yard line. They need to get inside the 5 for a first down. They trail by 6. 2 running back look. Maffa gets the handoff. Down to the 1. First and goal from the 1. Feels like a Clemson touchdown is incoming. If Clemson scores and takes the lead here, you got to wonder how Duke's going to respond. It'll be the first time they've trailed. Maffa again. Fumbles! Duke scoops it up! There they go. 25, 30, 40. Klubnik chasing him. Klubnik saves a touchdown at the 30-yard line. Wow. Maffa fumbled bounced right into a Duke player's arms, and he was off to the races. And Cade Klubnik chased him down. Hats off to Cade Klubnik for that. But play of the game so far. And we are now even in the turnover category at 2 apiece. And this is an absolute disaster. 2 straight red zone turnovers for the Taters. And had it not been for the effort of Cade Klubnik. Say what? Cade Klubnik has not played a good game, in my opinion, at the quarterback position. But he saved a touchdown there. That was a 100% effort play right there by Cade Klubnik to run that player down. Wow. And it feels like Duke needs to take advantage of this one. It feels like Duke's got to find a way to score here. Clemson has had no problem driving the ball down the field in the second half. They get red zone turnovers. Duke's back in this. I know Duke's winning, but they're back in this game as far as I'm concerned because the turnover deal now has evened out. Hard to pull off the upset if you're negative in the turnover margin. They're now even, 2 turnovers apiece. Duke's going to have the ball 1st and 10 on the Clemson 33-yard line. It really feels like they need to capitalize with some points here. Snap. Handoff. Up the gut. Picks up about 4 or 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 or 6. Definitely the play of the game so far right there. Well, that number 2 is going to get ragged when they sit down to watch the tape tomorrow. How you let that man hawk you down from behind now? Yeah. Let a white boy catch you from behind. That's embarrassing. 2nd and 6. Flags down. Is this going to be another false start on Duke?
Wow.
I don't know. Look.
Wow.
False starts on offense and offsides on defense. It's got to be up to 6 or 7 now. There's been 3 or 4 false starts on Duke, and defensively they've been offsides 3 or 4 times. This is alarming. At a home game, you don't expect to. Well, you should never do that. But sometimes on the road, the crowd noise. But this is a home game, and they've got 3 or 4 offsides penalties defensively, and I think that's their 4th false start. So a nice 1st down gain negated by a penalty, and now it's 2nd and 11. Leonard back to throw. Under pressure, gets rid of it, trying to set up a screen, has blockers. 30, 35. Picks up the 1st down to the 22-yard line. Big play there. Set up the screen. Ends up with a blocker out in front of him. Nice play by Duke there to take advantage of that Clemson pass rush. I have a feeling we might see that play again before this game is over to try to slow down that Clemson pass rush, which is really giving Duke a hard time in the second half. 1st and 10 for Duke in the red zone, definitely in field goal range now. They're on the 22-yard line. Riley Leonard in a shotgun again. Snap. Handoff. Not much room. Picks up maybe 2 yards down to the 20. Duke can't get out of their own way, says Voltard Rep. Yeah. Penalties and turnovers are really hurting Duke. Lucas, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. I'll read that in just a second. Let's watch this play. 2nd and 8. Empty backfield this time. Riley Leonard waiting on the snap. There it is. Looks to throw. Fires. Complete. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. They're going to be a yard short of the 1st down, though. 3rd and 1 coming up for Duke. Under 12 minutes to go now in the 4th. Lucas, thank you for the super chat. He says, Clemson really is a C- program. Get them out of the top 10 with LSU and put Notre Dame and Tennessee in. Dawson Gentry says, I just joined the Patreon. Lou, hey, thanks, Dawson. I appreciate that, buddy. Make sure you, the Patreon works like a Facebook page. There's posts on there. The most recent post is a poll about this Saturday's live stream. Make sure you take a look at that poll and vote on when you want me to stream on Saturday. Duke running back hitting the backfield but breaks several tackles and ends up inside the 10-yard line for a 1st down. Turned what could have been a 1-yard loss into about a 3 or a 4-yard gain. And Duke now with a 1st and goal. Yeah, make sure you vote in that poll. The time that I stream every Saturday is determined by a vote on the Patreon page. So make sure you cast your vote over there, Dawson. And thank you for joining the Patreon page, man. I really appreciate it. That Patreon page is really the only thing that allows me to do this full time during the off season. Without that Patreon page, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you for that, buddy. 1st and goal. Riley Leonard hands off. Gets to the outside. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Dukies. Wow. Duke is going to go up by 2 scores now. Boy, this is getting to be a dangerous situation for the Taters now. Pigskin Pete might well go ahead and send Jackpot his money. Anybody remember the term Clemsoning, says Brian Gentry. It's back. Yes, I do remember the term Clemsoning. Usually that happens later in the season, though, when they're like on the way to the playoffs, but then they lose a boneheaded game, but they're going in and getting it out of the way in week 1 here, huh? Now Duke is going to go for 2 to try to make it a 14-point game, 19-7. So a 12-point lead, they're going to go for 2. Riley Leonard, shotgun, back to throw. Into the end zone, caught, it's good. Duke extends the lead to 14. That's a huge 2-point conversion there. Clemson now needs 2 touchdowns just to tie it up, whereas before 2 touchdowns would have won the game. Turcaro87 says, Lou, here's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. That's right. Dabo, help. Dabo, put me in at wide receiver or something. Shit, I can't do no worse than these people. No, I don't have time to play wide receiver for Clemson. It's a good idea, though. It's a good idea, though. Dabo's still crying about the Orange Bowl. All right, it's getting towards the end, and the favorite is about to lose. That means the numbers are about to go up. There's about to be a lot more people in here than what was been in here for most of the game, because you got a lot of people that just want to tune in to point and laugh at the end. So if you are new, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're in the 4th quarter here. Duke just made a 2-point conversion to extend their lead to 14. And we've got about 10 and a half minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Duke trying to pull off the big upset here at home over the Clemson Tigers. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up if you haven't already. If we get to 1,500 thumbs up, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had 1,500 thumbs up in a live stream. We got to 1,000 the other day. I don't know if I've ever had 1,500. But hit the thumbs up if you're excited to watch the end of this game. The final game of week 1 of the 2023 college football season. We've had 5 straight nights of games going all the way. It seems like forever. God, it seems like forever ago. Florida and Utah were playing. Way back on Thursday night, 5 days ago, we had 5 straight nights of games. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. An amazing start to the 2023 college football season. It's going to be a hell of a season, regardless of what happens here in the last 10 and a half minutes of this game. But welcome to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe. I post college football videos year-round, bunch of live shows. We do a college football call-in show every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Talk to college football fans from coast to coast. We have a really good time. Make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up. That's a big help to the stream and to the channel, and it's literally the easiest thing you can do to help me out. So if you hadn't hit that thumbs up yet, it looks like we're going to get a great ending here. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Breaking Parallels, thank you for the super chat. He says, go about a live interview with Pete on stream. Yeah, I don't think Pete's going to be in the mood. I don't think Pete's going to be in the mood to come over here and let us all laugh at him. Manning for Life, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm happy Duke is ending 5 straight days of football with a bang. Yeah, we've had some of everything in week 1, right? We've had some huge upsets. We've had some big stories. We've had some teams we thought were good, that were going to be really, really good, that maybe haven't looked so good. We've had some teams we thought weren't going to be any good at all, that maybe look like they are going to be pretty good. We've had some great individual performances. Would this be the biggest upset of week 1, though? Probably, right? Well, no, Colorado was a 20-point underdog. Duke's a 14-point underdog. So I guess Colorado was probably the biggest upset of the weekend. Rugby Dude, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat. Good to see you in here. Bailey Pettit, I think. Says, great to be back on the best channel for college football. Big Vols fan here, but glad to see some chaos in week 1. Go Vols. Yeah, Tennessee had a big win over Virginia. Milton played okay, I thought. Tennessee's run game was unbelievable. Defense, I think, looks better. We'll see. Hard to take a lot away from Virginia, but it looked better to me than last year, and that run game was unbelievable. Clemson picks up a first down on first down with a swing pass to Will Shipley. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the fourth, Clemson trails by 2 touchdowns. They've got the ball following that last Duke score. Clemson 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. 4 wide, Klubnik in a shotgun. Back to throw. Looks, throws. Incomplete, in and out of the receiver's hands. That looks like a case of alligator arms. The receiver was about to take a big hit if he caught that ball, and that looked like he might have got the T-Rex arm syndrome on that one, decided he didn't want to take the hit. It was a good pass and hit him right in the numbers. Should have caught it, but he would have got laid out if he did. 2nd and 10 coming up for Clemson again on their own 36. 4 wide again. Klubnik shotgun, Will Shipley. They hand him the ball, bounces out to the left, gets around a man, turns it upfield, just short of the first down to the 45. Needed the 46, gets to the 45. So a 3rd and 1 coming up now for Clemson. Under 10 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. Duke 21, Clemson 7. Tristan, thank you for the super chat. The media lied to us about Garrett Riley. Wow, 3rd and 1, they hand it to Shipley, and he barely gets it. He was hit in the backfield, fell forward across the first down line. That was close, but Clemson keeps the drive alive, moves to sticks. 9:18 to go in the fourth. The clock is ticking. 1st and 10, Clemson on their own 46. Klubnik back to throw. Looks, steps up in the pocket, delivers, nearly intercepted. Wow, a crossing route over the middle, and I don't think he saw the linebacker roaming underneath. Nearly intercepted. This would have been absolutely disastrous here. Yeah, there's no way he saw that guy. Yeah, he must have just not saw that guy. Very, very lucky. That's about the 4th pass Klubnik's thrown that could have or should have been intercepted. 2nd and 10 for Clemson on their own 46. Snap, back to throw again. Throws to Will Shipley, short. Picks up 2 or 3 yards. That's it. 3rd and long coming up for Clemson, and this feels like a big play. Will Shipley has been taking a beating. They are wearing him out. He's coming out for a break now. Maffa comes in on 3rd and 7, the backup running back for Clemson. This feels like a big play with 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter, and Clemson down 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 7 on their own side of the field. Feels like a big play. 3rd and 7, here we go. On their own 48. Shotgun. Snap. Klubnik looks to his left. Throws. Incomplete. Good coverage. Knocked away. 4th and 7 now. What does Clemson do? Do they trust their defense to kick it away with 8.5 minutes to go and down 2 touchdowns, or are they going to go for it here close to midfield? Threw it to Antonio Williams, who's been the only real bright spot at Clemson for wide receiver, but he just couldn't hang on. Drops the catch, and it's 4th and 7, and Clemson keeps Cade Klubnik on the field. Here we go. 4th and 7, Clemson on their own 48-yard line. 4 wide. Shipley back in the game at running back. No, Maffa's in the game at running back. That's not Shipley. Snap. Klubnik back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Gonna run for it. And slides and gets it. And there's gonna be a penalty on the end of this play. Boy, that's tough there because it's a big play in the game. As a defender, you want to do anything you can to try to keep them from picking up the first down. But if a quarterback slides feet first, you got to find a way not to make contact with him. That's just the rule. Man, yeah, you got it. I mean, I don't really know what, I don't know. I know the rules are the rules. You can't hit the quarterback slides head first. You can't hit him. But, God, this stuff happens so fast. And it's a big play in the game. You're trying to stop him short of the first down, but you just can't hit the QBs like that. They're going to get them for 15 yards here. Get them for targeting, too. Yeah, so we'll see. They'll review because they review every targeting call, but you just hate to see that critical point in the game. Knoxville, thank you for the super chat. He says, the steamrolled Tennessee steamrolled Clemson in the Orange Bowl, and like Drake said, nothing was the same. Facts. Facts. King Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Georgia is watching this game laughing at Clemson? What do you mean, like the Georgia team? No. I don't think college football players sit around laughing at other college football players. We do that as fans. They could care less. They're all friends. Albert Sancho, thank you for the super chat. Could FSU have a chance against Clemson? Of course they could. I mean, FSU had a chance against Clemson before this game was played, or before they even played yesterday. I mean, of course they've got a chance against Clemson. Of course they do. Donovan says, Duke player trying to make a tackle and QB slides and moves his helmet into the tackle. What's he supposed to do? Yeah, I get both sides of the argument. I understand that we're taking that out of foot. I understand that. I also can see where the defender on that play, huge play, it's fourth down. The game is basically on the line, kind of. And the quarterback is close to picking up the first down. In your mind, you're like, I've got to stop his forward progress. And, you know, the defender basically goes for the tackle before the quarterback ever starts to slide. And, you know, what do? You know, it's just one of those things. Just one of those things. All right, we're at 1,356 likes. Got to get up to 1,500. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you hadn't. Dabo is safe. Yeah, Dabo's not getting fired. Somebody was asked about that earlier. Dabo is a long way away from getting fired. Long way away. Joseph Sandberg says, but why are we rewarding QB for sliding late? Well, we're not rewarding him. That's just the rule. That's just the rule. Duke isn't good. Clemson is just garbage, says Derek Coble. Hot garbage? King Ryan says Clemson didn't eat their Wheaties this morning. Yeah, or practice offense all offseason, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. It's alarming, ain't it? It's extremely alarming. All right, 8:15 to go in the fourth, 21-7. Wow. You know what's even worse? It wouldn't have been a first down. They would have been marked a yard short. But it's Duke ball. Okay, this is a weird thing in the rules here. There's a weird thing in the rules here. Because this was a dead ball foul. Okay, the quarterback is marked down the second he starts his slide. Klubnik started his slide a yard short of the first down. Soon as he touches the ground, the play is over. The late hit, which was late, that's why it's called a late hit, becomes a dead ball penalty that gets enforced after the play. So it's going to be Duke ball. It's going to be Duke ball. The targeting is confirmed. The player is ejected. It's a 15-yard penalty, but the penalty is going to go against Duke's offense. Duke ball. That's a weird kind of glitch in the rules there. The targeting actually becomes a dead ball foul because the quarterback was sliding. Wow. And so because it was a fourth down play and he started the slide a yard short of the first down, because it's not where you finish the slide as a quarterback. It's where you start the slide. But because you're not allowed to touch the quarterback once he slides, they mark the quarterback down the moment he starts his slide. A 1st and 10 run for Duke results in absolutely nothing. In fact, they lost a couple of yards. So with 8 minutes to go, Duke is up 21-7. and they face a 2nd and 11 from around midfield. Boy, tomorrow's Your Season Is Over recap video was already going to be good because of the Florida State LSU game. But if Clemson hangs on to lose, that's going to be a great video tomorrow. 2nd and 11, Duke keeps it on the ground, only picks up a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 8 or 9 for Duke. Don't blame them for keeping it on the ground. They want to run time off the clock here, so I would be shocked. It's 3rd and 9. I would be surprised if they throw the ball here. You would assume they're going to try to keep this thing on the ground and just run as much time off the clock as they possibly can. Screen pass would be an option, yeah, Adam Dickey, or Riley let the quarterback run with the ball, maybe too, would be something. 3rd and 9. They are going to throw. It is a screen. You called it, wide receiver screen, but Clemson was ready, no gain. You called it. It was a screen, not a running back screen like we saw a minute ago. This was a wide receiver screen. Gains nothing though. 4th and 9, but the clock will continue to run, so they'll eat another 30 seconds off the clock. There's going to be under 6 minutes to go when Clemson gets this ball back, and they're down 14. They're down 14. And they really haven't shown an ability to move the ball down the field quickly through the air. It's been a lot of dink and dunk short stuff. Now, they have hit a couple of big runs, runs up the middle where they've gotten loose for 30, 40, 50 yards. Be curious to see what Clemson does offensively when they get back out with the ball here. But 4th and 9, Duke kicks it away, ball in the air. This is going to be fielded. Oh, my God. Wow, Duke couldn't get there in time. The ball was rolling inside the 5-yard line, a monster punt, and Duke just couldn't get there in time. Clemson catches a break. It rolls into the end zone for a touchback. But that could have been bad if Duke down that thing inside the 5. Clemson would have been really fighting an uphill battle. Florida fans, stay silent. You have no room to be talking, says Lafayette. Yeah, they took a beating. They took a beating. Is Clemson a playoff team in that? No. Clemson wasn't a playoff team even before this game was played. The Sam EP, thank you for the super chat. He says, TikTok, Tater. TikTok, Tater. Thank you, Sammy. 850 Matthew says, so much for a top 5 or 10 showdown on the 23rd. Yeah. I mean, Clemson's not going to fall all the way out of the top. They'll still be ranked, but yeah, it won't be a top 5 or a top 10 matchup, most likely. You're right. Bean Supreme says, K. Klubnik is terrible, and I guess Dabo's stuck with him. Yeah, I think you're right. I hate Clemson, but I really don't understand how that's considered after the play. That's heartbreaking for a Clemson fan there. Well, it's because the play is dead the minute the quarterback starts his slide. And the reason the play is dead the minute the quarterback starts his slide is to protect the quarterback from hits like that so that defenders won't hit him. So when the defender does hit him, it's after the play because the quarterback was dead the second he started the slide. So the whole reason that it's a penalty is also why it's Duke's ball. Because it was a dead ball penalty, because the play is dead the minute he starts to slide. So, yeah, a little confusing. I don't know if I've ever seen it play out that way before like that in that exact situation, but it does make sense. It does make sense. Tater Man punching the air right now says trucking with Jeter. Dawson Gentry says Texas plus 7.5 is easy money. I also like the over. I think he's talking about the Texas-Bama game next week with Bama being a 7.5 point favorite, but he's saying he likes Texas and the points. Michael Grubbs, thank you for the super chat. He says Sharif Tater having trouble with them Dukes boys. Yeah, turns out Dukes mayonnaise is better than tater tots. You heard it here first. I've been telling y'all about Duke's mayonnaise for years. If it ain't Duke's, it ain't mayonnaise. If it ain't Duke's, it ain't mayonnaise. It's that damn simple. KP, thank you for the super chat. Clemson versus Colorado. Who you got? Oh, shoo. Yeah, man. I need to see both teams play another game. If I had to pick right now, I'd probably pick Clemson. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Colorado's defense is horrific. So you got to figure Clemson's going to score in the 40s on them. And I think Clemson's defense is a lot better than TCU's. I'd probably go with Clemson. If only Clemson had a QB like Oregon State's QB. Yeah, Brian. Now, who is that again? Who is Oregon State's quarterback again? Oh, yeah, DJ Ukulele. That's right. The ukulele only had 5 touchdowns Saturday. Only had 5 touchdowns. Only completed 80% of his passes. But, yeah, Clemson didn't need him because they've got Cade Klubnik, who keeps throwing the ball to Duke. Duke just can't catch. That's the problem. Incomplete pass on first down. 2nd and 10 for the Taters on their own 20. Klubnik, quarterback draw. Has some room, too. Takes a big hit after about an 8-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Welcome to the stream. Latecomers, hit the thumbs up in 2, says Red and Black Dog. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. A lot of people are coming in at the end, which is great. Welcome to the stream. 3rd and 2. Clemson down 14. Pass caught on 3rd and 2 on a slant route. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Keeps the drive alive. 5:15 and the clock is ticking. Clemson needs 2 touchdowns to tie it up. 1st and 10. Duke 21. Clemson 7. Cade Klubnik in a shotgun. They're on their own 34. Snap. Back to throw. Looking. Throws. Complete. No! Intercepted! Oh my God! Intended for Will Shipley out of the backfield. Hit off his hands. Right into the arms of a Dookie. Wow. Heartbreaking turnover for the Taters, and that's pretty much going to do it with 5:01 to go. Wow. Hit Will Shipley right in his hands, right in front of his face. Clemson's best player has his worst play of the game at the worst possible moment. The 3rd turnover today for Clemson. All 3 Clemson turnovers have occurred in the second half. 2 of them in the red zone. This one with 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Duke's going to take over with great field position. They're up 14 and only about 5 minutes to go in the game. 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Wow, definitely the play of the game there. Now, that interception's not on Cade Klubnik. That hit Will Shipley right in his hands, right in front of his face, and he just didn't catch it. Classic tip drill that every defensive back has been practicing since they were 8 years old. Fell right to a Duke player. He catches it. Turnover. Duke takes over with great field position. Up 14 with 5:15 to go. Again, welcome to the stream. Subscribe if you're new. I stream college football games all throughout the season. I post college football videos year-round. I do this year-round. This isn't a part-time thing or a just during the season thing. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel. We have a really good time here with these game streams. I do call-in shows every Tuesday and Thursday at 9. Give me a call. We'll talk some college football. Yep, if you want to, and also, if you're a Clemson man, you can call me this Tuesday and cry about it. If you're a Duke man, you can call me and brag about it. Who's the list of criers for this Tuesday's call-in show? Well, Florida man, call me up and cry. South Carolina man, call me up and cry. LSU man, call me up and cry. Who wants to brag? The Duke man, the Utah man, the North Carolina man. If you're an Ohio State man, call me up and cry about your quarterback situation. Hey, Ohio State, how do you have 19 NFL wide receivers and you didn't have a single touchdown pass against something called Indiana? You beat Indiana 23-3. That's not good, Ohio State, man. You better figure something out quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't care whether it's I don't care whether it's Kyle McCord, Devin Brown, Devin McCord, or Kyle Brown. I don't give a shit. You better find a quarterback that can throw it to those 19 NFL wide receivers you got, or else you ain't getting nowhere near the playoffs this year. You won't even have a chance to lose to Georgia again like you did last year. You'll be eliminated long before you ever get to that point. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah. Thumbs up. We hit the 1,500 mark on thumbs up. There's no way we can get to 2,000. Hit the thumbs up if you just joined the stream. We're going to see how this thing goes the last 5 minutes. Duke's got the ball. I mean, it's not looking good. If I was a Clemson fan, I'd be nervous as shit. I'd pretty much be thinking it's over at this point if I was a Clemson fan. But I'm kind of pessimistic in general. I guess, clearly it's not over. Duke's committed 2 turnovers of their own. God forbid they commit another one here. But Clemson is running out of time. I mean, they need a fast stop. They need to get the ball back, score quick. They are definitely running out of time. Is Pete melting down?
Last time I checked, he seemed fine. let me check though.
Andrew, thank you for the super chat. I'll read that in just a second. Riley Leonard keeps on 1st and 10, huge gain, and he slides down inbounds. Picks up about 13 or 14 yards on the quarterback keeper. Watch Only says, I don't know about you, but if a chick called me Club Dick, I'm taking that as a compliment. Well, he can take it however he wants. I didn't name him. But shout out to K Club Dick, though. But a crucial interception there. Not his fault, I don't think. I put that on Shipley. Trucking with Jeter says, but who they played? Well, they played Duke. And they fucking lost. Or are about to. 1st and 10, under 4.5 minutes to go now. Andrew says, South Carolina FBS schools are 0-4 this week. Oh, my God. Yeah, that is bad. 1st and 10 for Duke on the Clemson 38. Handoff this time. Running back. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 2nd and 9.5 coming up now. Michael Grubbs, thank you for the super chat. Did Clemson really need to bring in Riley at OC to have no one but Shipley in the offense? Yeah, this looks honestly worse than last year's Clemson offense. LSU and Clemson in the Mayonnaise Bowl. All right, yeah, we're caught up there. Micah Scully, thank you for the super chat. He says, way too early top 4 prediction. I try not to. Now, I mean, I overreact like in terms of what I think about games in week 1, but I try not to overreact to my long-term predictions just based off of week 1. So for now, I'm going to stick with my original playoff prediction in the offseason, which is Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Southern Cal. I'm not likely to get that. I'm not likely to go 4 for 4. It's very hard to predict all 4 playoff teams. I mean, who picked TCU last year? Nobody. Who picked Cincinnati the year before that? Nobody. Nobody even picked LSU in 2019, and they ended up winning the whole thing. So it's really hard to pick the 4 playoff teams. But that's who I picked in the preseason. I'm not gonna change that off of just 1 week's worth of results. Riley keeps again, dives forward for a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 8 for Duke, but there's under 4 minutes to go now. Fried taters and corn dogs, says Michael Sprague. Rugby dude, thank you for the super chat. Clemson should join the Pac-2. Well, they're bringing in 2 members from the Pac-4, so they, kind of if you can't beat them, join them type of deal. Clint Eastwood says, Lou called the L for Clemson, dead program, and poverty. I did predict Clemson to lose this game in my preseason prediction videos for Clemson. I did a game-by-game prediction for a bunch of teams, including Clemson, and I did have them losing this game. 3rd and 8. Oh, God. Big play on the ground. 10-5. Touchdown, Duke. It's officially a blowout.
It's over.
It is a blowout. Oh, my God. Now, I didn't see this coming. You can go back and watch my Clemson prediction video that I did 6 weeks ago, and I did predict Duke to win this game. I didn't think it would be a blowout. It's about to be 28-7 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. This is absolutely humiliating for Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers, who went out and made the biggest splash hire possible in the offseason by bringing in Garrett Riley as offensive coordinator, running the ukulele out of town, and crowning Cade Klubnik as the next Joe Montana or whoever the fuck. And it turns out the guy's no good. The Clemson offense not only hasn't improved, it might be worse than last year, and they are getting absolutely bullied by something called Duke. This is bad. Just a simple trap play off left tackle, and nobody touched him. This is a 40-yard touchdown run, and not a single Clemson player even touched him. Unreal. Knuffigan MT says, this sport is insane. Only week 1 in Colorado achieves a big upset, and if Duke holds on, the top 25 will shake up big time. Also, hope I find some time to get on the call-in show again. Go Vols. Yeah, man, call in. We have a great time on that call-in show, and I'm doing it about 3 hours a night now. Started that thing 5 or 6 years ago, doing it 1 hour, moved it to 2 hours. We're up to 3 hours a night now, every Tuesday and Thursday night from 9 p.m. Eastern till around midnight. We do that call-in show. And we have a really, really good time. Really good time. Lucas Sharp says, how do you get blown out by a basketball school? Yeah, I guess Duke hit a bunch of three-pointers. I don't know. Actually, Duke did hit 2 three-pointers in this game. The rest have been touchdowns, though. Tater Man, your season and program is over, says King Family. Your program is over? Wow. Duke getting ready to rush the field, which is no big deal. Clemson rushes the field at every home game, whether they win or lose. That's the dumbest tradition in all of college football. Watching Clemson fans rush their own field after a loss is probably the most embarrassing thing you'll ever see in the world of college football. Mitch Nance says, Clemson man here, Lou. Thanks for making even toting a big steaming L entertaining. Yeah, Mitch, tough loss for Clemson, and, I don't know. Maybe they can rebound. A lot of teams do improve a lot from week 1 to week 2, and Clemson clearly has a lot of talent, but for whatever reason, it's just not coming together, especially offensively over the last few years. I mean, they've got some deficiencies at wide receiver and offensive line that just for whatever reason have not been addressed over the last couple of years. 3 stars versus 5 stars. What's the excuse, says Sean Michael. Put that Clemson hat in the fireplace. Well, this is a C- hat, though. I can keep this one. It's a C- hat. It used to be a Clemson hat. I turned it into a C- hat because that's what Clemson is, a C- program. Let's see. I know I missed some super chats. I'm trying to catch up here. Clemson should join the Pac-2. Lou called this loss. I don't know about you. Okay. Who they played. South Carolina. School. Did Clemson really need to bring in Riley at OC? Clemson Mayo Bowl. Tough loss the way it went down. Sad to see how far this program has gone. They just didn't keep up with the times. Yeah, ignoring the transfer portal has not worked out well for Clemson. Pretending the transfer portal doesn't exist is not a good game plan for Dabo Swinney. He has to... Dabo's got to adjust with the times or he's going to get even more left behind than he already is. Brian Gentry just simply says, Clem shit. Yeah. Clemson Cheez-It Bowl world champs. JR says, Dukies. Glad Duke is a home game for FSU. They look good, says 850 Matthew. Yeah, Florida State fans are now more worried about Duke than they are Clemson. Denny says, YPIO, your program is over. Thank you, Denny. The taters got peeled, says Sammy. Thank you all for these super chats. I'm trying to catch up and read them all. Looking like you should have never hedged your Duke pick, even after some dumb money started to go their way. Your gut was right again. Love to show, Lou. Well, I didn't ever change my pick. I just didn't bet them straight up without getting money line odds. Pete didn't want to give me the money line odds. Cade Klubnik is getting absolutely destroyed every time he backs up to throw the ball now. 2 plays in a row. He's dropped back to pass. 2 plays in a row, he's got bent in half and fumbled the ball. But it's, incomplete passes. You know how they get hit as they're throwing it type of deal. It's happened twice in a row. That one looked like that might have been a fumble, though. Early, your season is over if Duke hangs on. Your season is over video will be out tomorrow for the Sunday and Monday games. I did one on Sunday for the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday games. I'll be doing one tomorrow for the Sunday and Monday games. So, yeah, there will be a Your Season is Over video uploaded tomorrow for the Sunday and Monday games. Sing the Tater Man song? I retired the Tater Man song. Clemson is now 1-3 in their last 4 games. Losses to South Carolina, Tennessee, and now Duke. Guess who else is 1-3 in their last 4 games? LSU, with 3 blowout losses. They got blown out by Texas A&M, blown out by Georgia. They beat Purdue, and then they got blown out by Florida State. LSU also 1-3 in their last 4 games. Never making a bet with you again. Goalpost coming down, ? Says Hoghead. We bet on this game? Hoghead? You bet me on the Tennessee game, and you lost that one too. Will Shipley makes the catch and scurries out of bounds. Under 2 minutes to go now. 4th down coming up for Clemson. 1:55 to go. Duke 28, Clemson 7. Big 4th down play coming up for Duke. Your preseason prediction of Alabama and Clemson taking 6 total losses. Clemson could have all 6. Yeah, I did a bold predictions video, and I said Clemson and Alabama will have a total of 6 losses this year. And this person is saying Clemson might end up with 6 on their own. Will Shipley drops the 4th down pass, and that's going to be it. 1:51 to go. Duke gets the ball back. Turnover on downs for Clemson. Any glimmer of hope they had is gone now. KP says, who's the defensive coordinator for Duke? Should Southern Cal hire him? I don't think it would matter. I don't think it matters who is defensive coordinator for Lincoln Riley. Jonathan Gardner says, keep up the hard work, Lou. From the offseason to regular season, you're always producing content. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, I do this channel year-round. College football, 365 days a year here. So, like I said, if somehow you stumbled across this channel tonight looking for the Duke Clemson game or whatever the case, make sure you subscribe. Come hang out with us. The comment section is unbelievable. We've got fans from every single fan base you can imagine that hang out in the comment section here. We do live shows year-round. Call-in shows every Tuesday and Thursday night. Another big play by Duke on the ground inside the 40 to the 38. Duke might score again just to rub it in. I don't know. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. The next live stream like this will be Friday night for the Kansas-Illinois game. So if you're like me and you have no life outside of college football and you're going to be home on Friday night watching Kansas and Illinois, come back to the channel and hang out Friday night and we'll do it again. Are we going to flip the Clemson helmet, Lou? You know what? I don't know. I'll decide on that tomorrow when I'm doing the Your Season is Over video. We'll decide on that tomorrow. Lafayette says 73 ranked wins. My bad. Huh? Keep up the hard work, Lou, from the offseason. Okay, we did that one. Thank you, Jonathan Gardner, Lafayette, and Jacob Taylor for the super chats. KP, thank you for the super chat about the Duke defensive coordinator. Jesus Christ, Home Slice, thank you for that super chat about Clemson and Bama. Lafayette says, I love how everyone thinks Texas is going to come and get an easy win over Bama when Alabama has 73 wins and Bryant-Denny the most in the SEC. Oh, 73 ranked wins, yeah. Well, it's one thing to think Texas is going to win. It's another thing to think it's going to be an easy win. I think Texas can win. In no world do I think it's going to be an easy win for Texas if they win. Read my about, please, says, it's like everyone forgot about the Orange Bowl. Clemson did get humiliated in the Orange Bowl. That's a fact. Clemson out of playoffs, question mark. Well, I mean, if for some reason they finish the regular season 11-1 and then win the ACC championship at 12-1, then they'll get in. The problem is if you can't beat Duke, well, then what about Florida State? What about North Carolina? I mean, the reality is if they can't beat Duke, there's 4 or 5 teams left on the schedule that could beat Clemson. So they're likely not a playoff team, but losing this game in and of itself doesn't eliminate Clemson from the playoffs because anybody can get in with one loss. Mashed taters covered in Duke's mayonnaise, says Let's Go Darwin. Poker R says pathetic is the only way to describe this. Yeah. Ever since Venables has left, Clemson has been hot doo-doo, says Brock Tony. You know what? You might be onto something there. Noodle says, after this week, who you got, Clemson on South Carolina? I already picked South Carolina to beat Clemson. I can't change preseason predictions. There's nothing I can do. Every offseason in June and July, I do schedule predictions for 40 teams. I can't go back and change predictions I made in the offseason. Now, during this season, as games come up, I make picks during the week, regardless of what I picked in the preseason. But I'm not going to change my preseason prediction pick about South Carolina and Clemson now in week 1. When I talk about the game in week 13, I'll pick whoever I think is going to win. But I picked South Carolina to win that game in my preseason predictions. It's a home game for South Carolina. That's why I picked them. Dylan Deloney says, Edward chickened out on betting me this game. It's a good thing he did. Put the Clemson helmet on the ground with the group of 5 helmets. The group of 5 helmets aren't even on the ground anymore. The group of 5 helmets are on the top 2 shelves now. The top 2 shelves is group of 5. The bottom are all the Power 5. Lou, have you heard from the drywall guy recently? Well, he shows up in the comment section every once in a while. You know, Uncle Lou's drywall guy, that account. He shows up every once in a while. Clemson looks like my Aggies from last year, says Michael Grubbs. Yeah, just no offense at all. A blowout, 28-7. A blowout. Shout out to Battle Angel, by the way, says King Ryan. Yeah, shout out to Battle Angel. She has to put up with me Even after the live stream ends, she has to continue to put up with me. And believe me, when this live stream ends, all I'm going to do is go in the den and talk about how Clemson shit themselves for 30 minutes. She's going to have to hear me for another 30 minutes even after the live stream ends. So, yeah, shout out to BA back there.
Trolling.
Noah Brogdon says, very successful live stream tonight. Lou, well, that's because of you, Noah, and everybody else that come and hung out with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all had a good time watching the game with me. I have a great time hanging out with y'all and watching these games. Like I said, we're going to do it again Friday night for Kansas and Illinois. And then I'll be streaming pretty much all day on Saturday. I just don't know the schedule yet. I got to wait and see what the Patreon page votes on in terms of my stream schedule for Saturday. But I'll know by Wednesday or Thursday on that. Clemson going to start 0-1 2 years in a row. They open with Georgia next year. That's right, they do. They play Georgia week 1 next year in Atlanta. That's right. This is what happens when you don't use the portal, says Sort Beaver. Bunch of procreation on Duke University tonight. Yeah. 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 All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. But, man, I had a great time. A huge upset here to end week 1 of the 2023 college football season. Duke pulling off arguably one of their biggest wins in program history. A big home win at night on a Memorial weekend. They knock off a top 10 Clemson team. Congratulations to Duke. This wasn't a fluke. They deserved to win this game 100%, and they won it. Sometimes these upsets, weird things happen. A ball bounce the wrong way, something like that. Duke was the better team from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. There wasn't a single point in this game, to me, where it looked like Clemson was a better team. So congratulations to Duke and all their fans. On to Alabama and Texas next week. That's right. That's the big game next week. So we'll be talking about that game a lot this week on the channel. I'll be uploading some videos about the game, and I'm sure everybody on the call-in shows is going to want to talk about that game too. So I'm going to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the call-in show right here on LouTube. All right, y'all take it